Hello, hello. Hi guys, hi guys. Mr. Bronchosaurus, Mr. Morgan, and Mr. Go, my homie. How are you doing? Miss Cat. Bang, bang. Super bangle. What, Mr. Morgan? And I actually like the PS5 design, Brandon Go. I like the black and white. It looks pretty sick, actually. Pretty slick. And, you know, the shape of it is pretty cool, I guess. It's pretty different, at least. It's not just a box. Alright, we're here with Eliza. It is Friday. Hi, Mr. Persh. Hello, hello. Let's go, let's go. So last time we did the first 3 chapters of Eliza. And I think today we're probably gonna finish it. We'll see, we'll see. How are you guys doing, by the way? How are you guys doing? It's such a nice day. Oh yeah, it's like super like green now. When did it get so warm? I thought it was still winter. There's a breeze from over the water, making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out here, walking along the waterfront. This is an amazing view, dude. It's crazy, actually. You got paid today? Yo, nice, nice. There's calm and peace and contentedness. Now I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. I know I was having problems at one point, but that was so long ago. When was that? I can't remember. This moment in time seems to stretch to infinity. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging, perfect. The surface of that lake is such a brilliant blue. A blue I could lose myself in. Forever blue. If you were green, you would die.
Well, what do you think?
Oh god, it's this guy again.
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place. But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
Remarkable technology, isn't it? I've had
Oh, that
others
was
who
inside the
try to
headset
tell
or
me
whatever?
It's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful.
Soren retrieves a bottle of whiskey from a liquor cabinet and serves himself. Nice sound effects.
Here's a thought experiment for you. Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy.
Well, that sounds pretty useful.
Would you get it? You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human. Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count somehow. What a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away, and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately. I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
His voice is getting so ragged. How many drinks did he have before I came here? Are we gonna get raped again?
Oh, forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
No. Definitely not.
I'm okay.
Soren holds up the bottle, examining it.
The Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff. Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh? If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I? I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before.
I still feel like it's kind of like sketchy.
There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of. Obsolete. And to think Rainer wanted nothing to do with this.
Does Mia like direct stimulation? Monka S? You thought it was a bad idea?
He thought it was a bad idea.
Rainer's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important. He told me he thinks pain should be regulated.
Hello, Mr.
not
Bushido.
eliminated.
Greetings, greetings.
After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness? He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy. All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them. It's better if a small startup takes
Everything's
the fall
freaking
if public
dystopian in this
opinion
freaking
turns against
game.
this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing. Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though.
Oh, Mr. Bushido. You silly, silly guy.
If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Rainer wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Yes. Yes, I do.
That's very schemy.
It's quite the accusation, I know. Not something I'd come out and say in public. Not yet, anyway.
Okay, bye, Mr. Persh.
But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms.
True.
Total dependency on the system.
Very, very true.
Excuse me for 1 second.
But then they would be dependent on your system too. Soren hurries out of the room for some reason, leaving me with questions echoing in my head. Would I want my suffering removed completely? Is it better to leave it alone? You think I could ask about Damien? Oh boy. What do you want to know about him? What kind of person was he? You're asking me to describe him? Mr. Erland. I don't want to make you if it's uncomfortable, but it would help me to know what he was like. He was a brilliant software architect and engineer. Nothing like you. He was so much better than you. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. Our digital therapy project wasn't a mandate from management. We started it ourselves. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care he needed. That's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. Wait, so did he kill himself? This is going to sound weird, but sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. I never met him in real life, but it's like I sense his presence there. Like he encoded himself into the system in some way. I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. Okay. No response. Soren likes the style of decor. I forgot what it was called. It's modern, from around the middle of the century. There's a term for that, isn't there? I don't know. I don't know anything about interior design. It reminds me of the art in the counseling room. Knowing Soren, this is probably by some famous artist, and it cost him a fortune. Seems restrained for him. Maybe he's cut back. What, on all the alcohol or whatever? Whatever that is? Soren comes back in the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, you want to take over the world.
I get it, but you don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing. I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity. What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Skeptical?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Raynor?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights.
So very vicious.
Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest. Honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing. A guy like Raynor has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team
Evelyn,
to be
please.
healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work. And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it.
That's true,
None of
actually.
that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien. He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back, nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism. It happened, and now we have to move on.
It felt like everything stopped.
Pulmonary what? What does it even mean?
All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time, but you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn. I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic, but I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in.
Gee, I can't imagine how that would happen.
I hardly ever see my kids, and, well,
You have
they hate
kids?
me anyway. I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist. The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
I don't really care if he's okay or not. He's an asshole.
That's not a good motivation.
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Neither is Rainer, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that. So,
That doesn't make
now
it any
that
better.
that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine.
If there's
Just
no path
please
forward, blaze
consider it,
one.
Evelyn.
Blaze one. Hello, Arthur.
You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Well, at least you didn't try to bang me. Somehow that conversation ended up being very draining. Is the promise of that new technology really all that keeps him going? Hey, look, it's the beginning of the game. I think I've seen this person before. He must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. He's watching something and smiling to himself. The phone tips in his hand, allowing me to a glimpse of his screen. It's a cat video. Cute. Security. All good things. Today is my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's the end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, look back, and see just how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling. To say the least. I'll miss the old crew. Oh, this is the boomer? Oh, he actually got fired. This is the guy that had, like, anger management problems or something? I miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember the insane blackberry brambles around campus that people would get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Raj had to host all of our internal docs from his garage. The time where you tried to roll out the big Polaris update right as the worst windstorm in the decade hit? Old Skanda hands also know how to mass email everyone at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there were times of friction. Times where it seemed to me what was the very clear, obviously correct path was not as apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and candor in my interactions. And thought everyone else here did too. But as we grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entirely different communication style that I'm used to. In regard to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I presented my views. For those of you asking where I'm headed next, I don't think anyone cares. I'm going to spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there now, with new challenges, new rivals, as you fight for survival. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks. No one's ever going to get that reference. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsior. Okay. How are we doing? At Skanda, we continuously strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, we periodically survey the group in order to better understand how we can further enhance the Skanda experience. We are interested in your feedback regarding your experience as a contractor for Skanda in the contract proxy position. If you wish to participate in the survey, simply reply to this message. No. No one likes surveys. Ooh, this is cool. There's no need to rush. There's no need to rush. Here we are again, another day at work. Welcome to Eliza. Oh man. Well, oh, it's this guy again.
Hello, Harriman.
Yes, we can just get down to it.
This is the guy that wanted to bang everybody, right?
Sure, we can do that.
What brings you here today?
What brings you here today? It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well...
Spill the beans, man.
I slept with Sylvia.
Oh man, he banged her.
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here.
Jesus.
A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked.
And let me guess, you got an
and
STD now.
Just happened. Like a train, following tracks laid out for it years ago. Crazy thing. Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen? And also, why did it happen? I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person? I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what. It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before. I should probably say something, right? Text her or something?
Yeah, you think so?
What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
Well, then you move on to the next girl that you want to bang.
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do I do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem. Is that too stuffy? I don't want to appear like some ridiculous court noble. Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know.
Dear
I
Lord.
don't know what a stat it is right now. There's another problem, too. Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz? Wait. Of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her.
Dude, you're such
Did I mention this?
an asshole.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh my
Liz is
god.
nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment. Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too, and I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz.
That's probably not gonna be
I'm
possible.
not sure that's possible though, right? I can't believe this. I got what I wanted and it ruined my life. What do I tell Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this.
True.
I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Also true. Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything? Oh my god.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her. I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her. You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put
Not
all
at all.
that out of my mind. My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. So much pain.
So much pain. Yeah, for your girlfriend.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate? Am I going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl?
Yes.
Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. I had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but...
You know about G4 TV. What
I
about
don't know where to go
G4
from
TV?
here. I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this. It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon.
X-Play, of course.
Even though
Rest in
I
peace,
fear at any
X-Play.
moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below. Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again.
Oh, stop being so dramatic.
Oh, sweet, dark death.
You actually are a writer, Jesus. Well, he didn't say he was like PhD
Harmon,
or whatever.
I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands.
Again?
It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth.
The Meadowlands.
Reverting to my childhood, the state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program, wiser than you know. I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
Yeah.
You a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harmon. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
Man, what an easy session. Oh, he gave me 3 stars this time. Last time he only gave me 2, I think. Level up! Oh, it's so good. It's like, I clicked the mouse like 7 times. I'm basically a master of the game. I know I'm supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to the people about the clients that come through here. Oh no, it's Soren again. Just close the next round of funding, Asia Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. Congratulations. Now leave me alone. Thanks. Hello, I'll forget this name. Of all the projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one that is going to go far. Really make a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Rainer? I don't know what I want to do. All he wants is to quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? 1, 5, 2.3? 5? Hello, stranger. We're not strangers at this point. We're like besties. I'll forget this name. See, it's ridiculous. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So many ways to study it, too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensations, notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you there? No. I'm selecting the same dialogue as options as you did. I'm sorry. Can you borrow my car? No. I hope this one is getting enough light in this corner there. Looks a little lonely. Okay, plants can't be lonely, or well, as far as we know, they can't be lonely. His experience as a grad student is nothing like the one I had. How does he even have time for that stuff? That's true, actually. Duck face. Okay, I'll forget this name. The duck face went out of style in like 2012, so you're a little bit ancient there. Time for the next client. Time for the next client. Oh, hey, it's you again.
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do. Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that or...
Why don't we get started?
Why don't we get started?
You went out of style in 2006.
Sure. So, I feel worse than before.
That's not good.
Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and, it was nice. But when I got back to the real world, everything was the same.
Yeah, that's usually how it
I don't know
works.
why people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better. Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it.
Well, as you know, high school never
I
ends.
guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers. I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things and I never get traction. And I have things to say, I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops.
Wow, Mr. Morgan actually knows that song. You really are old.
And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a curse from mythology.
Can you use jealousy as the same way as envy? I think so.
And meanwhile, these other people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful, fulfilling artistic careers. And, I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult. It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself.
She is
even though I
actually
know it's
hardcore
ruining
jealous.
things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care. But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic shit. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it.
Envy is something for small people? The one and only Neo Gamer has arrived. Hi.
I feel like people pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like, if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids. And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. I'm the competitive bitch. I'm the bitter failure.
The bitter failure. Wow, I'm surprised bitch doesn't show up here as negative or whatever.
Which I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. It's such an ugly part. But it's there. It's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
Do you think you would be better
Probably.
off without that part of you?
No, I don't know.
She's taking it
In the
back.
past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that. Forget about trying to do this thing. I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of the idea of art. I'm sick of my own art, which...
Sick.
Not even myself.
Feels bad.
Something has to change.
Whoa, it's Barry. Hello. This girl is a failed artist, yeah.
Something drastic has to happen to change things around. Oh, that reminds me. I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
Take all my data. It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode.
Okay, Maya. It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode.
Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
Transparency mode activated.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
Thank you for asking about transparency mode.
Thank you for asking about transparency mode.
How is Eliza, like, so popular and stuff? If like, these responses are so robotic.
Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for Eliza.
It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you feel better. Or help you better.
It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better. To participate, you must grant me access to certain personal data.
Yeah, let me just steal all your information. You probably already gave it to Google anyway, so it's fine.
This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories. Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
Some guy at the bar was yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something. But what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it. God, I feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Well, I mean, kind of, I guess. Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
I did not understand your response.
I did not understand your response.
Jesus.
I would like to participate in transparency mode.
Oh, now you're talking in robotic. That makes sense.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency mode.
Cool.
Cool.
Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions? Like the lady sitting in the chair across from me. I envy you. I honestly do.
Well, I mean, you could easily probably get this job.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal. Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I closely study every software user agreement I get.
Oh my god. No one ever does that.
That's a joke. I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Session complete. She gave me a 5-star again. She's so nice. Even though we didn't even help her persuade her. We've persuaded her to give up her data. Get fucked.
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive. It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers.
Yeah, the human
Usually,
aspect.
transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies since there's a lot of trust required there. But you were given access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
Or maybe Eliza just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
Eliza just likes you? What is it, freaking sentient
I
now?
never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane. People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy? Well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary. We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people can go in aware of the choices they're making.
Well, I mean, I guess it's good,
That's good. I'd hate to see it misused.
I guess.
Yeah, the media would jump all over us. There are a lot of people who want to see us fail for whatever reason. Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other way. Anyway, you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something. You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it.
Wow, it's like the same.
You can start it whenever you're ready.
Sure.
She really gave us permission to look at her messages. I feel like just a few years ago, even the idea of something like this would have been controversial. But she was fine with it. She wanted it. Compare this to the water that was in the conference room at Skanda headquarters. Funny how that's an appropriate level of fanciness for everything. I'm sure Nora would have something to say about that. It's so gray out there. So gray. Introduction to transparency mode. Congratulations! You've been selected to contribute additional information to Eliza's learning corpus. You'll be presented with a snapshot of a client's personal communications. Review these communications and determine the client's mental state. Eliza will also create a model of the client's mental state. Eliza will ask you a few questions designed to check its model against your understanding. How do I know if I'm doing a good job at transparency mode? Carefully consider the material provided to you and sincerely answer the questions created by Eliza's model. Your input is valuable whether it agrees or disagrees with Eliza. Transparency mode activated. Harriman cheated. Soren's drunk. Yep. Super speed. Hello, hello. Skanda takes personal privacy very seriously. As a proxy, you have already agreed to strong non-disclosure and other agreements to protect our customers' privacy. These agreements and protections also apply to information presented in transparency mode. Does Skanda have the right to show me another citizen's private communications? Yes, because we control the world. Like, just the idea of it calling it transparency mode is just so stupid. Alright, let's go. Welcome to transparency mode, version 0.8.2. Whoa, this is weird. What the heck? So this is like her phone? Which looks exactly like my phone. I mean, basically, anyway.
Nothing
Dude,
will stop
I'm like
me.
I'm like in her stuff. This is so creepy. Also, hi, Swifty Kitty. Thank you very much for the 3-month resub. Swifty Kitty, Swifty Kitty. Can I like read her emails? I don't even feel comfortable doing this, to be honest. Oh, she has like an artsy like program or whatever. It's kind of cool. This is uncomfortable already. I'd feel extra weird looking at her art. Ooh, does she draw like, naughty stuff? What is Vido? Is that for video? I don't understand how developers name apps. Palki? This is a rideshare app. I don't think I need to look at that. I'll stick to looking at the things that they specifically want me to see. It's raining and 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Jesus, that's quite a chilly day for me. Oh, yeah, you're freaking out about the Ratchet and Clank thing? Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, Swifty Kitty's gonna like that. Zip chat. Garrett. Oh my god, this is wrong. This is so wrong. What the hell am I doing? Nobody gives a fuck. What is this face? Just some sort of like demon face? Please stop. I hate it when you're like this. I'm just saying true things. Don't tell me to pretend everything's great. Nobody gives a shit. It's just a fact. I don't know how to help you when you're like this. I know, nobody can. Have you thought about getting therapy? I am in therapy. Okay, sorry. I'm in therapy. I'm on medication. I did some VR thing where I stood in the forest by a creek. How does any of that make people care about my work? It doesn't change a fucking thing. Okay, then. Okay, look, I'm sorry you're going through a tough time. I fucking hate this. I'm sorry. You aren't helping. Jesus. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to help you. Or how I'm supposed to help you. Maya? He's just trying to help, dude, but I mean, look. Come on. Did you see the Forsberg thing? Yeah. I think he kind of sucks. Lamau, he does. It was boring and self-absorbed. Didn't do much for me. Why is he a thing? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Why does everyone love him? Right place at the right time, maybe? His friends are in the press. He's on a podcast with them. One thing he is good at is having this image of being a genius. So I think people just assume he is one. You've been waiting for 18 years? Whoa, Swifty Kitty is so old. He's so mediocre, though, demon face. I seriously don't understand it. I sink now into the space of forever. Like, what kind of crap is that? Seriously, it's so bad. Ha ha ha. Oh, and he socializes and gets out a lot, I think. He's like at every party, at least that I've seen. He's always there chatting people up. Well, fuck that. Why is the world this way? It's the world. I hate it, demon. I remember being so glad to be over with high school. Wait, I remember being so glad to be over with high school. I didn't realize all of adult life is just high school over and over again. Just a stupid popularity contest against idiots. Ugh. I know, right? I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. Drink soon? I'll be fine. Yeah, definitely. Drinks always. Jesus Christ. Respect your elders. I respect Swifty Kitty. Oh my god, so much mail. Thanks for writing with Amado? $150. What? $150 cleaning fee was added to this trip. Riders are responsible for incidents such as the spillage of food and drink, or unexpected involuntary regurgitation. The cleaning fee helps your driver maintain a clean and safe vehicle. Yikes. That's quite expensive. Spring showcase is right around the corner. Oh, wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? It's cold and wintry now, but that can only mean one thing. Spring is surely on its way. And that means it's time to get ready for Spencer Spruce Gallery's annual Spring Showcase. Held in April, our Spring Showcase is famous for highlighting some of the best and most exciting up-and-coming artistic talents in the Puget Sound region. Stay tuned for more information, including the artist lineup, venue, and more soon, very soon. Swifty Kitty, do you respect me? We are so incredibly excited to bring these incredible artists to your attention. Puget. I don't know how to say it. For now, visit our website to take a look at the showcase. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. Just an art thing. Who's hot? You're hot. Dang, she's on Pair Up. What is this, like Tinder? They love you. They really love you. In the past 24 hours, you've received 11 new messages on Pair Up. Here's a simple. I saw you're an artist on your profile. Congratulations. I love artsy chicks. Tell me more. Hi there, unicorn girl. I'm an artist too. What kind of art do you do? I'm primarily mixed media at the moment, using clay and plastic to make messed up looking creatures from your nightmares. Or hell. Haha. What about you? What are you into? Yo! There's more where that came from. Sign into your account. Okay. Going through Maya's life. I'm supposed to! The game told me to. Okay, submission to the gallery. Unfortunately, we feel your work is not right for the showcase, but we appreciate your time. Ooh, rejected. Saturation. I wanted to say thank you for taking the time to pitch to us. Your treatment was engaging and thoughtful. This was a difficult decision for us, but ultimately we will not be moving forward with your project. Dang, rejected again. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to read Saturation. It is not right for us, but we hope you will be able to find a home for it elsewhere. Rejected a third time? This poor girl. Match her with the English master's student. No, that guy's an asshole. Dear Maya, as one of our most valued customers... Okay, so this is just the transparency mode thing, right? Yeah, okay. 25% off sale today. Bring readers the best national and international sequential art and storytelling from established as well as emerging artists. The dedication to quality doesn't come without a cost. We're dependent upon our customers and patrons to make ends meet. Okay, 25% discount. Okay, whatever. Did she give permission to go through her stuff? Yes, she did. Okay, I guess that's it. Maya is unhappy. Yeah, probably. Maya is attempting to become well known. Yeah? Maya's efforts to become well known are unsuccessful. Yeah? I mean, pretty much, yeah, that's just how it goes. Oh, I don't know if I like learning this much about someone I don't know. Makes me feel tired for some reason. Hey, can I meet up with you again? Like for coffee, maybe? Something happened that I want to talk to you about. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to ask something. I'll meet you wherever. What happened? Something at work. It's not a big deal, honestly. Just wanted your opinion on it, and I don't want to text about it. Okay.
Thanks for meeting up with me on kinda short notice. I didn't mean to worry you, it's just something I wanted to talk about.
It's fine. What happened?
Well, what happened was... where should I start? First of all, Raynor wants Eliza to be more than something that's used just for therapy.
Oh.
He sees it as more of a general system for talking to people, like a personal assistant. The counseling
Like
is just one
Amazon
of a whole range
Alexa.
of apps he has in mind for the future.
I'm familiar with his thinking on that.
I'm familiar with his thinking on that.
Keeping stuff in person and out of the data network. And yeah, Swifty Kitty, that's just how life is, unfortunately.
Okay, so in service of developing these things, Raynor wants us to make copies of Eliza's core data and hand it off to multiple teams around the world. Some of them not even Skanda teams. Contractors, vendors, random partners.
Sounds like a big file to move around.
It is, but that's not the problem.
What's the problem?
Well, so we're fine with sharing Eliza with whoever wants it?
No.
Anyone just gets access to the corpus?
It sounds like a bad idea.
Sounds like a pretty typical process. That's how big companies work, isn't it?
I know, but it just feels wrong to let all these teams poke and prod at it like it's a specimen for them to dissect. Who knows what they'll do with it? Eliza is built from people's real thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't say it has humanity, but it was built from humanity. There's something there. So when Raynor talks about it like, we'll just duplicate this data set and have the labs do whatever it is they're going to do, how do we know they'll treat it with the respect it deserves and not just pry it open? Slice it up into little pieces. It bothers me. I know, it's silly. I know it's just data.
Eliza's our babby.
I shouldn't care about this stuff.
Erland.
This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised.
This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised. I know where you're coming from, though. Sometimes you grow attached to the things you work on. Like, really attached.
You're built from humanity, Swifty Kitty.
Yeah, I've put a lot of thought and work into Eliza since I inherited it. It's natural that maybe I'm a little protective, right? I thought maybe you'd feel the same way.
Well, I kinda do, actually.
I do. I agree with you. The moment we say things are just data is the moment we enable all kinds of violence.
I just wish I knew what to do.
What choice do you have?
I'm not sure. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. I did take an ethics of engineering course in school, but the examples were all pretty clear-cut problems. Would you build software for a bomb? That kind of stuff. I didn't expect my personal feelings to be mixed up in it too. Listen to me talk. Eliza being special, something worth protecting.
Someone's got a crush on Eliza.
I'd be a laughingstock if I started saying those things at the office. My coworkers would say, "Come on, Erland, stop attributing human qualities to this piece of data. It's not the same thing as real people. It's just a corpus that has nothing to do with the people that generated it. And besides, don't you want Eliza to help more people? This is how we get there." And who am I to argue with that? These are reasonable points. But I don't know, I think maybe something does live on. Even when you take the names out, even when you anonymize everything. People's stories are still inside there, in some form, in some way. I just want to make sure we have some respect for them.
Welcome to your first moral decision in tech, Erland. It certainly won't be your last.
It's not much
Dang,
of a
look at us
decision.
being like
you said,
the
I
pro.
don't really have a choice. I just have to go along with it. I was so amazingly lucky to get this opportunity. Running the whole Eliza program almost as soon as I graduated college. Raynor took a big chance on me. I can't just walk away from that. Besides, if I left because of something like this, I'd be giving up all the ways I can make a difference by staying. Raynor isn't a bad person either. He's just pushing for his own goals. I need to see this through. I'll do what he's asking me to do. Sorry. Thanks for listening to me.
Well,
talk in this
rest in
confused way.
peace.
I'm usually more together than this. I've probably kept you from something important.
No, it's okay. I'd already finished up work for the day when you texted. People seem to assume I'm busy, but I'm really not. Not these days. Later tonight I'm going to visit a friend, but that's all I have going on.
Okay. Well, sorry.
You can stop apologizing, too.
Right. Right. Thanks, Evelyn. Well, I, for one, should get back to the office. Another meeting.
Is it with the team in Romania?
No, the Boston office this time. It's late for them, so I should try to get it done quickly.
No one is busy these days. I don't know, like, quarantine's lightening up here in the south, which is not a good thing, but it is happening. Erland hurries off to his next meeting. Should I get some more coffee? How'd your first transparency mode go? I was going to ask after you finished, but I didn't see you in the office. I had to duck out right after. Sorry. Okay, Cannon. Okay, Cannon. Miss Cat. Hello. There wasn't a lot of questions? I thought there'd be more. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's always very terse. And the questions are really short. I thought maybe you could tell me why. This feature came after my time, so I'm not sure. If I were to take a guess, Eliza only needs human confirmation to make sure it hasn't messed up. It's like it already knows it has the right answers. Which would make it rather advanced as a system. I don't know of any other program capable of something like that. That's great, Swifty Kitty, your pupper. Pupper. What would happen if you said all disagree? I don't know, Super Speed. That's like second playthrough stuff. He's very upbeat about Eliza's capability to understand humans and act like them. I'm not sure I believe that, but I guess it is impressive in some ways. Yeah, it is. I feel lucky. Lucky that I get to be here and witness this revolution. And lucky I get to meet you too. I really enjoyed your company the other night. Well, baking was fun. Isn't it? Maybe you can come over again sometime. Gotta run. See you soon. You are back. Mr. Persh K.R. He asked for Erland's name and wrote Aaron. He should ask his customers to spell their names. Are we hitting on Ray now? No. Ray, I don't think Ray is into us. Is Ray into those kind of, that kind of thing? I could stand to wear something with a little more color on it. I looked it up. Komorebi? I don't know. Means the light filtering through leaves. Something you can see when... Oh yeah, that's right. Ray is like asexual. I remember that. Something you can see when the sun is out. Okay. Time to head to Nora's place. I find what looks like one of Capitol Hill's old buildings. I wonder how much longer it'll be around. Lately it feels like everything's being replaced.
Hey! Sorry about the mess.
It's a little messy, but not in a careless way. Well, yeah, Super Speed. She actually went over that. Lots of electronics everywhere.
Oh, it's fine. Not like my place is super clean or anything. Is this all music equipment?
Most of it. There are some controllers I was working on too. I wanted to create this real-time control apparatus. You know, like that thing that Imogen Heap uses?
Imogen what?
Who?
You don't know who that is? Okay, I'm totally going to show you some videos later. I wanted my version to react to changes in my body temperature too, so it could get more excited as the set went on.
What?
Or maybe it would really get going if I had a fever. I like that idea. Turning sickness into
Imogen
art.
Heap is a music artist. Mia! You don't know anything. Gosh.
Do you want anything to drink? Or I could set up a basic patch on the Euro rack for you to play around with.
Basic patch on the Eurorack. What does that even mean? I don't understand these like adult terms, guys. I'm too young for this game. Let's have some alcohol. Oh,
Okay, sure.
the game is
Are you
thinking
nervous?
about stuff.
I think the best way to learn music is just diving in, all the way. If you're willing to experiment and play around, you will learn so much.
Mia's computer. Hey. Most games that I play don't. Well, that's not true. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. But I was just playing Borderlands 3 for like 3 hours today, and it didn't stutter at all. So it's like some games just aren't compatible with Windows 10 or something weird. I don't know. Maybe later? I'm really here to visit with you. Ooh.
I'm really here to visit with you.
Something crazy that happened in my life? I don't know, my life's pretty boring, so... Not really sure about anything crazy.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me see if this amp is still working. After the show, it went kind of a little strange.
Nora starts to tinker with some of the equipment.
Music technology is just like any other kind. You take the inputs and you translate them to the outputs. Once you learn the basic principles, it all just flows from there. Oh, that gives me an idea. You could take metrics from Eliza sessions and have them direct a dynamic music score.
How?
Like if you took the head tilt value or the eye tracking and used them to drive the parameters of pitch and filter.
What in the world are you even going on
You'd be
about?
like, it's just chow, it's just chow.
What?
That doesn't sound like something a counseling client might want to hear.
Oh, no, I didn't mean for the client to listen to. I meant it more like if you were going to make like a performance art piece based on a person in counseling. You know what I mean?
Sure, let's just agree with her because we want to bang her.
I think I do.
I miss having access to those cameras and sensors. I should have kept some instead of returning them to Skanta like a good girl. I bet those components would have enjoyed being liberated for the purpose of art, instead of being used to degrade our humanity one little bit at a time.
Mia wants to bang so hard. Yeah, that's something crazy that happened in my life. Banging, Arthur. Have you ever banged before? I'm just kidding. I'm innocent and pure. You don't like where things have gone? It is true, actually,
it's true,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Sure, maybe this huge database of people's deep, dark secrets is going to be used 100% properly. Maybe it will always be kept completely safe, and we can completely trust Skanda to do the right thing, now and in the future.
Probably not, though.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Sorry, I know you still might work there. I just have so little confidence in these big tech companies right now. They act like they have all the answers, instead of listening to people's concerns. And if you
You
ask
hope
them
that
why they aren't
12-year-olds aren't
listening,
banging.
They can't even explain the reasoning in a clear way. They just want to win.
Well, some are.
You've been a proxy for a while. I bet you've already seen some privacy mistakes. Or at least some things that made you think.
Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? No, not at the moment. Well, I was told everything was legal, but, you know, transparency mode doesn't seem very legal to me.
I have.
I knew it.
Arthur asking the big
A
questions.
guy like Raynor doesn't get that he might not be allowed to do certain things. Is that really the future you want to help build? It's not even that I don't trust Rainer, even though I don't. I wouldn't trust anyone with a store of data like that. It wouldn't be so difficult for employers, government, anyone to combine different sources together and eventually learn everything about you.
It's true. It happens actually right now.
Everything. They'll know your face, your body, your medical history, and now everything you told the counselor in private too. It's kind of like a nightmare to imagine it. That's why I left. That's why I thought it was important for me to stop making a contribution to something like that.
I mean, I have those doubts too.
Yeah, I have those doubts too.
Soundtracks on Spotify. I have never gone to Spotify in my life. Is that bad?
If I still worked for Rainer and I said these things, I'd be called a troublemaker, and he'd find a way to get rid of me. You know how it works, Evelyn. You have to be a true believer to last long at a place like that.
I mean, I just go to YouTube for my music because I'm lazy. BS? Mr. Perch, watch your language.
Once you develop doubts, you are committing heresies.
Heresy.
Are you a true
A
believer?
witch. True believer of what? What am I a true believer of? I wasn't really paying attention. Oh, true believer to last long in a place like, Skanda? Probably not.
He said something strange recently. He thinks Eliza could be the base for some kind of general artificial intelligence.
No. Strong AI? Really? Ugh, there's something about the books these guys read, the conferences they go to. Everything is so totalizing, so utopian. I think it messes with their brains. I don't think you could spend longer than a few days in a tech company executive suite before you completely lose touch with the real world.
Probably not. It's clearly ridiculous.
Clearly ridiculous.
I'm just agreeing with everything she says, hoping to get in those pants
It
of hers.
is. Well, let's humor it for a second, okay? Say Rainer is right, huh? And Eliza becomes the basis for human-like machine intelligence. What does that mean for you? How do you want to take responsibility for that?
Mia has a one-track mind. No.
Okay, I need a drink now. Hold your thought and let me make drinks.
It's drink time, guys. Here
You
it
like
comes. Here it
absinthe,
comes.
don't you?
I don't even know what that means, by the way. What is absinthe? Anyone want to explain what this is? I don't. I want to say I do because we gotta get crunk, as they say.
I do. Maybe.
You'll like this. I promise.
You don't know you are innocent? Of course I'm innocent. Alcohol? That's just what it means? No, not... Super speed, please. That's not what that means. That's like abstaining or something. What is it, like? Abstinence or something like that? Absinthe is an alcoholic drink that makes you hallucinate. The Green Fairy. Abstinence. Dude, you guys are embarrassing me. Kitty cat. Aw, kitty. Swifty kitty, get out of my game. That's the one she said was a modular. I suppose they call them modulars because they're made of modules? Modules? Obstinance? Wait, that doesn't sound right. Isn't that something else? Modular. Doesn't feel like I'm making much progress here. I wonder how you're supposed to know which sounds go together. Seems both complicated and weirdly arbitrary. Anything else? I think it's always like 3 things we look at and then nothing else there. Do you not trust me? Oh, I trust you, Barry. I trust you. Thanks again for meeting with me earlier. Sorry for being weird. This guy just blows up my phone. Good lord. Remember, you don't need to apologize. Right. What do you think of Raynor's future goals for Eliza? Like when he says if we gather enough data, it could become a general intelligence. I hope it's not gonna happen. Raynor is smart, but he doesn't quite understand the technology and its limits. I'm supposedly a subject matter expert in this stuff. AI was my concentration in school, so I know the current state of AI is way behind where the public thinks we are. But when I listen to Raynor, I start to think what he says might be possible. It feels like reality can warp around him. Who's to say maybe I don't have enough imagination to see it like he can? Oh my god, stop messaging! Eliza does have extremely detailed data from thousands of clients. Speech, facial movements, expression, people's descriptions of what life is like. I don't think a corpus like this has ever existed before. And we keep adding to it, and it just keeps getting better. So in the future, maybe Eliza can simulate a human being at a general level. But when programs indistinguishable from real people are common, how do you even define what's real anymore? You might never be sure a message came from a real human being again. I can't stop thinking about this. What if it comes true? What if Eliza becomes a sentient being? It is definitely a danger. It's not clear what you mean by those terms, though. You hate getting rapid texts rather than long texts. How do you know that you yourself are sentient? Ooh. Philosophical. Neo Gamer, dude, you predicted the game. I don't know, that's a good question now that I think about it. I could say that I'd feel conscious if I knew what that meant. But what's to prevent me from saying I feel conscious, even if I'm only providing responses I think you want to hear? What if my own consciousness is an illusion I experience? I had not considered this. Wow, this is blowing my mind a bit. Philosophers have discussed this. Yeah, I should read some, I know. Thanks for not minding chatting about this. I don't mind. You sure you don't have any technical questions, though? This is more fun. But you're right, I might be getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry for texting so much. Erland, stop saying sorry. You son of a gun. You're welcome. Now, back to the waifu.
Who's that texting you so much?
Unfortunately, it's this disgusting boy. I mean, come on, boys, am I right?
Evelyn found a special friend?
Yeah, she's standing right in front of me. What would you say if I had?
I'd be happy for you.
It's this guy named
Well, that's
Erland.
nice.
I guess he's the new head of engineering for Eliza.
Huh, I never heard of him. He must have started recently?
Yeah, less than a year ago. Right out of school.
Oh, wow. A little baby engineer. How cute.
Ever since I met him, he's been
How
messaging
cute.
me a lot.
My goodness, so he likes you.
I don't think it's like that.
No? Isn't that the textbook case of liking someone? Lots of messages all the time?
Well, kind of,
It's
I
really
guess.
more like he needs some kind of mentor figure. He reminds me of how we were when we graduated. Unsure what to think about the decisions these companies make, how they're made.
I hope you're telling him to run away while he still can.
When he first introduced himself, he said he had questions for me about Eliza, so I said, sure, feel free to ask. I thought he meant, like, technical or architectural questions. Instead, he wanted to talk more generally about things like, what was the code name for Eliza during development? What was Damien like? or if I think the same way Raynor does about Eliza's future.
And you told him no, Raynor is clearly in some bizarro world, right? That it's a tech
Yes.
executive's utopian fantasy and it won't come to pass. At least not in the way he thinks.
I tried to encourage him to think for himself,
I tried to encourage him to think for himself.
I guess.
Evelyn, I can see what this is really about. Look, I don't know much about the motivation in your life, but if it's truly your desire to continue to improve Eliza, then you should go for it. Go back to Skanda headquarters and work for Raynor and earn a big salary. At least you know what you're getting into. You would be surrounded by smart people and advanced technology.
Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a
It would
dating
be nice.
sim.
I understand it. And while you're in that position, maybe you could develop some kind of next level AI.
Next level
Who
AI.
knows, right? It's only that I can't imagine your technology will only be used for good things. Maybe Raynor promises that it will be. But do you trust him? What about the person who comes after him? What if the company merges with another one and the leadership changes? I wish I didn't sound so negative about this, but lately it's been a soul-searching time for me and my friends in tech. We have a lot of conversations about what we can do when our work is so easily used for morally questionable purposes. Do we try to control how our inventions are applied? Is that even possible?
Are there any dating sims in the queue? I don't think so. Unless Super Seducer is one. I don't know what that is. What accent does Nora have? I'm not sure, actually.
Or do we say, we only invented it, we didn't tell you how to use it, it's not our fault? That's why I envy you a little bit for wandering off like you did. Sometimes I think that's the only real solution, to walk away.
I mean, she has like a Russian shirt or whatever. But I don't know what that... I don't think that's Russian, is it? Postal 2 was a dating sim. Its jokes were dated. Yes.
I know that wasn't exactly a positive thing for you, Evelyn, but I wonder if it's the better choice in the end. Doing nothing at all.
It is Russian accent. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I can hear it.
I worked at a bookstore for part of the time. That's mostly it, though.
I've not really talked to any Russians in my life, I don't think ever. So,
It's weird. It feels like no time at all. I can hardly remember any of it.
is Nora a Russian name? You didn't finish it, but so far it's a wild ride. Wait, what are you talking about, Super Speed?
For me, it's hard to imagine. I always have to be working and busy. I get so unhappy and restless if I'm not doing something all the time. What is it like to do nothing?
Well, at first I tried to be productive. I would get up in the morning like I meant to go to work, get dressed, try to do a personal project or something. It didn't last for long.
Oh, Postal 2, yeah.
I told myself I just needed to take it easy for a while and unwind. Things at Skanda had been so intense and so emotional, I didn't even realize it. I felt like I'd been crumpled up into a tight little ball. I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to relax again. I wish I could say I took advantage of the time, that I went out and did things, or that I read a lot of books or something, but I didn't. I started to sleep in, and I started to care less and less about working on projects. I would stay in bed even though I was awake. This blankness would come over me, and it just seemed fine to do nothing. All of the things I'd promised I'd do fell away, and other people kind of fell away too.
How depressing.
I stopped keeping in touch. I let conversations die.
This is really, pretty, actually. I like the reflections.
I thought that my technical contributions to the world were over with, and that maybe I'd just work that bookstore job for the rest of my life. I was by myself, and I thought that was all right. I thought, that's how it is, really. Everyone's alone. I'm just being honest about it. I was 31 when I left Soren's group. Now I'm 34.
She doesn't look 34 at all.
Just slept into my mid-30s. So now here I am.
Nora reaches out and puts her hand on top of mine. Ooh, we're holding hands.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying something this whole time. I should have contacted you.
It's all right. You had to live your own life, right? You notice someone isn't posting and it's just like, maybe they're taking a break. I understand.
Well, I hope you feel better now. I suppose sometimes it takes a while.
Maybe. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm not even sure I know how to think anymore.
Then forget it for now. Hey, Evelyn.
Yeah?
You want to get super high and watch cybergoth music videos?
Huh?
You heard me.
Super high. I'll take you up on the first, but not this. Oh my god, what are these options? I mean, don't do drugs, by the way, but just a bang, let's just say yes.
Yes.
I would not say yes.
Yes, I do.
Personally.
I knew you were a woman of refined tastes.
We ended up staying up very late. Laura crashed on her couch so I could have the bed. Maybe it was the unfamiliar environment, but I couldn't sleep that night. This determines the endings. Questions without answers kept running through my mind. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? We saw you taking those health pipes. Very pleased. Look, we're on chapter 5. This morning, Ray looks a little down. It's noticeable since she's usually so cheerful.
Good morning, Evelyn. There are lemon bars in the kitchen.
Thanks. Did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing big. Apparently some famous writer I never heard of wrote an essay about how Eliza is bad because it represents the mechanization of humanity or something.
Mechanization.
I should be used to it. We're a pretty big target, right? Still, it gets on my nerves. We work hard to build something with value, and then some self-styled intellectual gadfly comes along and just goes, actually, that's bad. You guys are ruining society. To guys like him, everything's a doom and gloom scenario. The people we're helping, that somehow doesn't count.
Well, he is kind of right, though.
This kind of thinking never bothers you?
Maybe a little?
Maybe a little?
There was this quote from someone who worked on Eliza who turned into a big critic. Nora something. Did you work with her?
Dun dun dun. Oh, we worked pretty closely.
Oh, yeah. We worked pretty closely.
She's not a friend, though. No friend zone.
Yeah? What's she like? I'm curious how you go from building something to turning around and disparaging it publicly like that.
She's an artist and musician now.
She's an artist and musician now. She used to be really shy and reserved, but lately she's become a lot more outgoing. Even back then, though, she had a pretty strong idea of what was right and what was wrong, and sometimes she'd clash with management. She left Skanda at some point after I did. Maybe the battles took their toll, or she wasn't able to win enough of them. These days she focuses on electronic art and music and activism. I think she's pretty popular, at least in those circles.
Wait a second. Electronic arts. She works for EA.
Well, it must be nice to have the ability to live that way.
Right.
Dang, don't be jealous.
What about Damien? Do you think it would be fair to his memory to abandon work on Eliza? To give up on his dream? Wouldn't he want these mental health tools accessible to everyone?
How do you know about that?
I don't know.
The other day, I was looking at more of your papers. The ones from when you were at the university and clicking on the links to your co-author sites.
You were snooping on me.
That's when I saw Damien's page.
Ray's a bad person.
It didn't have much information on it, but I understand a little better why. I'm sorry, Evelyn. It's just that all of us, you and me and Damien and even Nora, too, we all worked hard to make something with the intention of making the world a better place.
Modular modules, DLCs, microtransactions.
And the thanks we get is people talking in big generalizations about how we're ruining everything. That's what bothers me. Is Eliza perfect? No. No intervention is perfect. But we have to try, don't we? The world is in a full-on mental health crisis, and this is one of the tools we have in our toolkit to address it. A promising one we should develop to its fullest potential. I'm not some wild-eyed idealist about this. I know it's not magic that'll solve everything. But can you see that most people don't have the luxury of turning their backs to the system? Think about the clients you've met as a proxy. Would you tell them to not take the medications that help them be functional because the pharmaceutical industry has questionable ethics sometimes? Would you tell them to stop coming to therapy because what they should really be doing is completely changing the way our society is structured? Sorry, I'm ranting. I'd rather do something that can help people here and now, even if it ends up being a small step.
A small step.
The smallest of steps. For some reason, these words echo in my mind. A small step.
Eliza helped me, you know. It really did. I was one of the first clients. Originally, I was just supposed to be testing it, but I remember once I was talking about my brother and how much anguish he was causing me and my family. And listening to myself, I realized just how many expectations we had for him. Sometimes unspoken expectations. Ever since then, I've been thinking about that. How the story was always about how he failed us. But what if we failed my brother too? I guess what I mean is, sometimes when we talk out loud and give voice to our problems, we can hear ourselves too. That's why I won't give up on this approach, no matter what anyone says. Pundits, critics, former employees, even you, Evelyn.
And that's why they say talking about things helps, I guess.
I'll understand if you don't want to work on Eliza anymore for whatever reason. But, I think what you created has value. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to make it accessible to those who might benefit from it.
Ray takes a deep breath and smiles.
Don't mind me. You should get to your session.
Oh boy, lots of moral dilemmas in this game. By now, I'm slightly late for the next session. Hopefully, the client doesn't mind. Agreed, super speed. Maybe we'll see him again. Oh, it's the old woman.
Hello, Holiday.
The crazy woman that just talks
It's nice
about
to see you
everything.
again.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that? Wouldn't mind having a chair like this in my place.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, Eliza. I tried. I asked about the medication for Panza.
Oh yeah, that's right. She asked us what the drugs are called, and we didn't even tell her what they were called again. Oh, it was so
I went
bad.
to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's similar to this one. But I don't have a prescription for that. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time.
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time. Is there something that would make it better?
Yeah, like telling her about the generic drug?
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world, you know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain. Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think. It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much. There's always something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life? I know you're a therapist now, but maybe in the past you were a gardener tending to the plants. That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there. It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy. Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy. That's not something I talk about much.
Forced fellow during execution.
I'd like to write a book one day. A book about
What's it
things
oh,
I've
forced
seen over the
reflow.
years. Think anyone would read a book I wrote? I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write
She's
a book.
still
It's a lot of
talking.
work. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind. You know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know? There's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time, he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile. Helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest after me, of course. He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next. There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city, nope.
I mean, you certainly want
People
to
say
talk.
hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here. You don't say much either, but I like talking to you. Feels like you're listening to me. I like that. I like that.
Does it really? Because I'm pretty sure Eliza is not really listening to you.
I'm glad you like it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday.
Oh boy.
You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me. You used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that? People playing their guitars on the street. You know, these shaggy-looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap, and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around.
This lady just wants to chat, but we're going to milk her for cash.
I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting.
Native American wooden
You
flute.
play an instrument or anything like that?
No. I don't understand the question.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
When I was young, my mother had this idea.
She
would
doesn't
play
even,
the
like-
violin.
She doesn't even care. She doesn't care what I
I
say.
have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this nice, beautiful melody. La da dee da da da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go. I
Okay,
take a special
okay.
talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that.
Well, good.
I was never too good at anything artistic, just not the artistic type, you know? I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Well, maybe you're a little wacky in the head.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
I'm gonna suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles. She didn't even have a problem. Like,
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles. It may help you take your mind off things.
Dolphin Smiles.
You can find it inside the Skondo Wellness app on your phone.
Hopefully we prescribe for Pianta again. This is how we make our money.
My phone broke. I forgot to mention. The screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore. I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
You can also access the program from a desktop computer.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer.
You think this old woman has a desktop computer?
Simply log into the Skondo Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well, then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back
Jesus.
soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
It's the future. Of course she has a desktop. I mean, she doesn't because she has to go to the library for it, but okay. No rating! She probably doesn't even know how to give a rating. Veteran proxy. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm kind of like a veteran here. Hang in there, friend. Hope this air isn't too dry for you. Seemed like she just wanted to tell stories. Maybe it's difficult for her to find people to speak with these days. 2 new males. LOL. LOL. Who knew this guy was such a pompous ass? He spends like 3 times more space talking about himself than me or my ideas. Can androids... Oh boy. Do I have to read this? This is a lot of stuff. It's all about artificial intelligence and stuff. Not if you don't want. Nora sent it. Well, I'll just tell her I read it. You know, it's fine. Does she think I have, like, 5 minutes to read this crap? I'm sorry, Nora. Jesus. A little while ago, we sent an email with the subject, how are we doing? We asked you some questions about your recent experience as a contractor for Skanda. We used an external subcontractor to collect and process the data. Unfortunately, we were recently notified that the subcontractor experienced a data breach. Oh god. And an external attacker managed to get unauthorized access. Your responses and email address may have been part of the data downloaded by the attacker. While we do not believe this data is sensitive on its own, we recommend taking the opportunity to check your accounts for signs of identity theft. Nice one, Skanda. This is why you can't have a computer rule the world. Looks like I have another transparency mode lined up. This is for who I just saw. Did she agree to participate at some point? I hope she understood what she was allowing. Oh god. But does her phone even work? She said it doesn't work, right? Oh, okay, I guess it does. I feel like I'm invading this person's privacy too much as it is. My health steward. I don't think I need to look at this. Register your account. Greater Seattle Care Network. Okay. My health steward. Update your personal information section. Okay, whatever. What is this crap? This is just a random thing. I don't think I need to read this. Westlake Power and Lights. Overdue notice. Electricity bill. Ooh. Payment of $240 remains outstanding on your account. Failure to pay the outstanding amount within 3 days will result in a late payment fee of $15. Exposition dump? I don't know if this is really an exposition dump. Mondays are senior appreciation days at the Rosewater Hotel and Casino. Get in the mood. 60 or older. I wonder how old she really is. I'm sorry, Mom. We were really struggling ourselves. Ooh. I wonder what that is. Oh, maybe she asked for help for her electricity bill or something? Take advantage of our new offer and pay as little as $0 for 3 bottles of Fortipran HCI. Still suffering from chronic joint and muscle pain? Take action and talk to your doctor about getting a prescription. Hurry, this offer expires soon. Is this some, like, virus offer here? Oh, it's December. This was a long time ago, actually. Notice of late rent. Okay, she is in, like, deep trouble here. Your rent for the month of January was late, marking the 3rd time your rent has been late since last June. Note that a Seattle tenant who habitually fails to pay rent, 4 or more pay or vacate notices within a 12-month period, is subject to eviction. Oh boy. Special offer for Eliza clients. Okay, so this is the transparency mode thing. Let's read her text messages because we're just such lovely people, aren't we? Hello from Seattle. Who's this? It's me, Holiday. Oh, how are you? I'm out of money. Probably going to get kicked out soon and nowhere to go. You wouldn't have it in your heart to help an old friend, would you? Dang, no response. I'm here. Are you? I don't see you. I'm by the statue. Which statue? Looks like a lady? There are a lot of statues that look like a lady. It's a cemetery. Wait, I see you. Well, yeah, she's certainly struggling. And yeah, I mean, is she attempting to get out of debt? I guess so. I mean, I guess I'll agree with everything again. Oh,
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did, I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place. It can be hard to see sometimes.
I feel really sad about it for some
I feel
reason.
really sad about it for some reason.
For some reason. It's almost like you have, like, empathy or whatever that thing is called,
This
you know?
person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do. All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker. But proxies aren't really social workers, per se. Eliza is really the one with the agency here, so, well, it's complicated. Probably something for a future court to decide. Either way, we can't try to fix people's lives on our own, no matter how much our heart goes out to them.
I mean, we could just, like, give her
I think
a
there's
little
an
bit of
email
money,
somewhere with
right?
a summary of our policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just hitting me hard right now.
I understand. It takes strength to focus on the role and not get distracted by what you see. Think of it like, say, someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation. Even if there isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. You kind of just have to focus on your work and leave. If
No,
it's
it's
not
true,
at
I
the
guess.
level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people would argue it's not your business. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where I'm just sad. This woman, the way she did 2 whole sessions with me, with Eliza, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
There it is. It's useless. Take
You
it
don't think
down.
She got some companionship out of Eliza? Sometimes that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
Yeah, but I could have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself. Why would that be any different?
Everything is so overwhelming. Why? Why am I
don't
here in this
know.
world?
I don't know what I'm doing here, or even what I'm trying to decide. Is there a decision? The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying Eliza for myself?
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will. I don't know why I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It
It's
might
not
have
gonna
been
help
too
us.
obvious
There's
to
no
me what
way.
it was
It's
doing.
useless, just like she said. Absolutely
Eliza is really
useless.
simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around. It tries to reflect what the person says back at them, pretty much like the old Eliza. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Ray gets a distant look in her eye.
Unmisted by love or dislike.
She turns back to me, a small but kind smile on her face.
Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. okay, Evelyn?
Sorry, I should answer this.
Evelyn used Eliza, and then Ray is gonna be the proxy. What? That sounds like such a big plot twist. So what do you think of transparency mode, Rainer? It's super dystopian, dude. Are you serious? Thousands of people reveal their most intimate secrets to their therapists every day. This is just a more efficient way to complete that information transfer. Have you noticed how powerful it is? Eliza is now capable of rapidly analyzing the contents of a single device and accurately inferring the overall life situation of its owner. It will only improve from there as we add more sources, more patterns to tease out the connections between them all. Turns out anything is possible with enough data. You trust a Rainer. You seem to have quite a lot of data. Too much, perhaps. Let me amend my previous statement. Anything is possible with enough high-quality data. There is an unlimited quantity of uninteresting data, but a small amount of certain specific data can be of almost incalculable value. Telling one from the other is the difficult part, don't you think? There's one more thing I'd like you to see. After that, I'll meet with you in person again.
Let me guess. Messaging with Rainer again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too, are you kidding? I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no. Whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all. I hope you find the future you want.
I'm a cool person, guys. Do you guys think I'm cool? I'm cool, right? We don't find futures, Ray. We create them.
We don't find futures, Ray. We create them.
Ray nods but doesn't say anything. And as her eyes are starting to become watery. Damn, did I just reject her? Holy shit. I think I just made her cry. Whoops. Oh well, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Soren. It begins. The man behind Skana's popular... Man, I feel bad. That was pretty rude. Dude, I was so mean. Can I go back? Laponia is the new Seattle startup. Yeah, okay, I know. 26 million from investors? Good lord. We find Soren's unique brain-first approach to mental health extremely compelling. He's already redefined what it means to seek support for mental wellness once. We think he'll do it again. Contributed to the bad ending. There's not a bad ending, right? Evelyn Rainer would like to speak with you again. Okay, 4:35 p.m. As before, a car will come pick you up. No, I didn't think that was gonna be, like, really mean to say. Dude. Hope you find the future we want. We don't find futures, Ray. We create them. That's not even that mean. Come on. I just thought it sounded cool. I just wanted to be a badass. Apparently I was just being bad. No ass included. Or actually, maybe I guess I was being bad and being an ass. Maybe future Eliza counseling centers could point struggling people to community resources. Local rent assistance programs, things like that. Oh my god. There has to be something we can do. I wish I'd known more about her situation beforehand. Not that I could have changed anything. Something to see before I go to headquarters again. I wonder what Rainer was talking about. This is depressing. Looks like I have one more transparency mode to do today. Oh, good. I'll get that out of the way before I meet with Rainer again. Which one is it?
If there's no path forward, blaze one!
420 blaze it. Oh, it's Soren? What? No way. Huh? Did he agree to this? What is this? This is probably just a bunch of ratings and tasting notes. Is that a fashion label? I don't think I need to look at his bank. I definitely don't want to see what might be in his photos. Ew, no kidding. It's gonna be so gross. I wonder why he has the proxy app. Oh, that's right, he left Eliza, right? So that shouldn't even be there anymore. Let's go mail first. Mail's less juicy than text messages. Concerns. The problem here is not that we think it impairs you. You've clearly demonstrated to us that whatever your process is, it's working and generating great results. What we're concerned with is optics. How it would look to those on the outside if it were to become known that there is a drinking culture or something similar at Aponia. You know as well as we do how rumors and hearsay can spread out of control and ignite a firestorm on social media. I hear you about responsible use of alcohol and also how most antidepressants don't even come close in terms of their immediate action. I've been there myself. What Walter and I are saying is simply be careful. And don't be so cavalier about this kind of thing, not only in public, but in front of your new hires as well. You have to make some cooler sound effects? Well, it's hard to do them because it's hard to find like clean rips of them. We can do this one of two ways. We can either work together as you suggest and stay professional colleagues forever. If you think you can really do that, I have my doubts. Or we can go our separate ways. There are plenty of places for us to carve out a space of our own in this industry, without us running into each other much. Despite what you'd like to think or say about destiny and threads of fate, I'm laying this out for you as a clear binary choice, so you can make a concrete decision about it. Anya. Well, he sexually harassed another person. No, Dad, just no. You're supposed to be the genius who developed all these great applications for mental health. Have you ever considered you might need a therapist yourself? I understand you had some concerns about the way your interview went on MSNBC last week. I believe there are a few successful tactics we can deploy to mitigate the potential negatives and ensure you receive only the kind of attention you're interested in getting going forward. I am hoping that you might be able to take some time out of your schedule to sit down with us and solidify a strategic communications plan for you and Aponia, including key messages or reputation building activities and executive media training. With a strong plan in place, there is far less chance of being ambushed by the media. The end goal will be for you to be able to trust us to manage your media profile and appearances so that you can concentrate on your hard work involved in being the brilliant, celebrated scientist and entrepreneur that you are. Okay. Dark Horse. What? Most people come to the seminar with a partner in order to practice and learn with their model. I think that is definitely the most valuable way to attend. There have been people on their own who have sat in on the session and found it worthwhile, but there is a big difference between watching the ties being done and practicing them on a real person. Another arrangement to consider is a three-way group where two riggers take turns practicing on a model. Yes, you must bring your own rope. I recommend at least 2 15... What? Okay. What is he talking about there? Oh, he's into BDSM? Okay. Hey, he's talking to Nora. Your show is great. Just wanted to say, hi, Soren. Thanks. Had a wild night. Not the wildest night I've ever had, but up there. Definitely feeling pain in muscles I didn't know I had. We are getting older. That's not fair at all. I'm far older than you. Besides, you look fantastic. Your beauty has grown since the days we worked together. Sorry if that's inappropriate. LOL, Soren. Frailer than I used to be, but the fire's never gone out. Still need to get out and do something. Bacchanalian? What? I don't know what that means. Is it like bachelor or something? Tied to being a bachelor? I was a little surprised to see you there. I convinced Evelyn to come too, you know. I don't think she'd have gone otherwise. I know you fancy her. Don't you? Sure I do. Everyone likes Evelyn. Okay. Nikki with 2 hearts. I miss you. I know you don't miss me. Oh, that's not true. I know not to trust words like that. Then why say anything? Because it's true, I miss you. I want to see you again. Well, you know how to find me. I'll schedule something again soon. I can't believe I do this. Sometimes I hate myself so much. All of his texts are girls, by the way. Hey, what are you up to? I've always really admired you. I never told you that before, but it's true. You work with Rainer and put up with him every day. Oh, this is Rainer's, like, email person. Sarah something? That takes a lot of work, I know. Your talents are wasted in that job. You deserve so much more. Soren, are you drunk? Maybe, I'm not lying, though. Don't you want more in life than to be someone's secretary? You're intelligent. Rainer is not exactly an easy boss to work with. I'm sure you know that. Let me take you out sometime. We can trade stories, war stories. I know I have a reputation, but that's what people I don't respect. I respect you. It's different. Ask me again when you're sober. Okay, I will. Might as well be down to fuck. You around? So you're ignoring me. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've been under a lot of stress. These business fucks are driving me crazy. I should have realized they just grind you down. Soren is unhappy. Yeah, probably. Soren is attempting to connect with others. Strongly agree. Soren's attempts to connect with others are unsuccessful. Agree. Bacchanalian. What the fuck? This isn't a coincidence. It can't be. At the Skanda headquarters building, Rainer's assistant leads me into a different elevator than last time. It's located at the end of a long corridor, protected by multiple keycard swipes. Inside, the elevator smoothly ramps up speed as we stand silently. I kind of wish I could talk to this lady, Sarah, if I remember right. But I'm not sure what I would say. She's not looking at me. She's looking off into the distance somehow, even though it's an elevator and the wall is right there. Elevators rides are really awkward, aren't they? Hello, Papazito. Roman god of wine. Yeah, Bacchus or whatever. Bacchus. I've seen that in like Final Fantasy games or something. Some RPG game. I have the sense that if I tried to say something friendly, I'd be beam out with a stony silence. Or if I asked a sincere question, she would deflect it. Nice place.
Evelyn, would you like some tea?
Sure.
Sure. Why did you show me Soren's phone?
It's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life? We accept that as common today. Maybe even uninteresting.
So did they hack Soren's phone or something?
But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
That was a huge violation of his privacy.
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy. Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data. We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning. Unlike our competitors, we do more to protect our data than anyone else.
That's not the case I'm worried about right now. I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor.
Oh, but what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here? Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
Dang.
No, I haven't done any of those things.
How can we be so sure?
How's your research into Eliza proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
There's a lot of suffering in this world.
There's a lot of suffering.
Is this the CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg? The Zuck?
There is. Are you looking to do something about that? I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine. How's he doing now? All on his own?
Oh, you tell me, because you would know, because you have all this information.
You tell me.
Very funny, Evelyn. Let me ask you this. Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering.
I'm skeptical, actually.
I'm skeptical.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory, the Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not familiar with it.
Still can't believe how I treated Ray. Dude, I just wanted to be a badass.
There's no
Come
need to
on.
be. It's just a bunch of unverifiable ideas. Let's be honest. What has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day.
Do tarot codes really tell you anything?
That doesn't mean it's a science.
Psychology is more rigorous than you're making it out to be here.
Psychology is more rigorous than you're making it out to be here.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say. Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile, he also thought the mind was fundamentally irreducible after a certain point, as if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person. It's all part of his silly, syncretic New Age belief system. Amazing he's held on to that for so long. I keep an open mind, but saying that something can't be represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof. After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things.
That's true.
Consider the example we spoke about before, a poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers? The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way Eliza does.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
Yes, I am. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems. One day, algorithms will write better poems than humans ever have. I know this sounds like a controversial opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
Sounds like our days are numbered.
Sounds like our days are numbered.
It doesn't matter. There's no
Get it?
stopping
Because numbers are all this guy ever talks about.
If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on the same or similar ideas. Everyone wants to be in this business. The business of recreating human thought in our own image. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power. Control.
Power.
Raynor, do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win?
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry?
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems.
Of course.
All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting.
Like an explosion.
That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art. The pleasures of the senses are just small bubbles on top of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the Eliza project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything. And maybe he can. But what comes next after that? What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires.
It's kind of true, actually.
Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Raynor, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer. A dream by itself isn't enough.
Well, is what you're doing the answer?
Take a close look at the person who chases an
Honestly,
end to suffering,
neither of them
and
are the
you'll see
answer.
someone who suffers greatly.
That's true. He does suffer.
Then why don't you build it yourself?
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it,
Super
haven't I?
Speed got my reference. Nice one.
I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop Eliza's core technologies and generalize them.
Well, that does sound pretty good.
You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to Eliza every day. Soon, this generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
You and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You think we're both grandiose? Soren's idea isn't grandiose at all. It's small and unimaginative.
Like it's dick.
Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then surpassing it exponentially. It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life. And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
Well, I mean, Evelyn.
Yeah, I'm not Eliza.
That was an interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The Eliza project occupies much of my mind.
It clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world. It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor. It would fundamentally transform society.
Thinks I'm Eliza, guys. I mean, for the better, maybe?
For the better.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
A chance to change the world. Raynor's words echo in my head for a long time. Is that what I want to do? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have to make a big decision here pretty soon. She looks tired. I'm tired too. It's been a busy, difficult few weeks. Hope I can come out of this with a way forward. She's swiping and tapping with a specific rhythm. Must be playing some kind of game. Or maybe she's just on Tinder. Same route, different reason. Feels strange. Safety reminder. There was a minor incident at the Bellevue office. During an Eliza session, a client became agitated and began to shout angrily and verbally berate the proxy. The session was halted, security was called, and the man was escorted from the facility, luckily without further incident. I want to give special kudos to Ray, manager of the Bellevue office, whose fast action and people handling skills helped to resolve the situation quickly and quietly. Now is a good time to remind everyone that as a service provider for mental wellness, we are under constant scrutiny from watchdog organizations and the media. It's not exactly fair, but one single mistake is enough to generate an entire negative press cycle around our company. That is why it's of the utmost importance we deal with every single one of these situations with the professionalism demonstrated by Ray and her team yesterday. I'm currently working on rolling out a series of training materials that will better prepare proxies to deal with clients such as these. That sounds terrifying. Appointment reminder. Appointment today at Eliza Counseling Center. Oh. So I did sign up as... Okay. Wow, we're actually gonna get freaking Eliza. Oh boy. Oh boy. I see. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Whoa, it's like a different perspective. It's crazy. We're on the other side. Important notice. Eliza is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you believe you are experiencing serious mental health issues, seek care from a licensed mental health provider. What? That does not sound good. Protecting the privacy? Pfft, yeah, whatever. 34, dude, that's crazy. Skondo Wellness account not found. Okay. Please help Eliza understand how you've been feeling over the last week. I've been feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. Wait. I mean... Has she? I mean, kind of, I guess. Yeah, probably. Tired or little energy? Yes. Trouble concentrating on things? No. Nervous, anxious, or on edge? Yes. Having trouble relaxing? I mean, am I supposed to be answering these myself? I don't really have trouble relaxing, I guess. I'm easily annoyed or irritable. Chat hasn't triggered me in a while, so I don't think so. I've been afraid as if something terrible might happen at any moment. For Evelyn? Well, I mean, I don't know everything about Evelyn here. This is probably true. Thank you for registering with the Eliza, your counseling partner. It's the same room I used. I guess I just sit here and wait for my proxy to show up. I feel like I've been waiting for a while. I hope the appointment actually got made. Here she comes. Whoa, it's not anyone we know. What is this, like, thing on her glasses? Is this some sort of, like, super tech glasses thing? Like Google Glass or whatever? You don't pay attention to the main character? It was yes to all of those? Well, it's yes to all of those for everybody. Let's be honest here. Wonder if she recognizes me too.
Hello, Evelyn.
Oh, this is like some sort of like Eliza thing.
Hello. Did you find the place okay? Yes, I work here. Of course.
Yes, I work here. All yes seems like the best way to get pills.
It's been a windy morning, hasn't it? Yeah, I kind of like it when it's like that, honestly. The wind makes it feel like things are changing. Or about to change.
Mm-hmm.
Great start.
So, what brings you here today? Well, I've been a proxy here for a while now, and, well, I guess I don't know what I expected. There's just so much suffering and pain in the world. There's the suffering we know about, the kind we see on the news, and then there's the suffering people undergo every day that's hidden. I never knew how much until I started doing this, seeing it all like this. And there's so little we can do for them. I feel like maybe I was really, really wrong. Like, I made a huge mistake. I wanted to create something that would help people, but...
Man, I can't wait for the generic robotic Eliza response to all this.
When I first designed the core of this system, I wanted everyone to have someone to talk to. Someone who would listen to them.
Do these two grab lunch together after you're done? Yeah, totally.
I thought, sometimes that's all you need. But now I'm worried what I've done hasn't helped at all. Maybe I've made everything worse. Clients are asking Eliza to solve things that are out of its ability to solve. It's aggregating sensitive personal data, and the company that owns it wants to take it in strange directions. It's been 3 years since I left. I thought I was well enough now to come back into the world, but maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I made a bad choice trying to get involved again.
And how do you really feel about that?
Why do you think you tried to get involved again? I guess I needed to see it.
Ah.
I needed to see it operating, to see if it works, to see how it affects people. How it affects the people who come here for counseling and the people who act as proxies. Even though the proxy thing, that wasn't my idea. It was Soren's. I thought talking to a computer-generated avatar would be enough, but he insisted on it. He said clients would only really open up if there was another real human being in the room.
Interesting.
Someone to pretend to interact with. I think he was right, but have we really solved anything? Now instead of 2 people in a room talking, we have 1 person and 1 proxy. It feels like less than it could be.
Is the proxy just parrot lines? Yes. Exactly.
What am I supposed to say to someone who feels such pain, anger, and disappointment? A lot of the time, it's not even their fault. The world failed them somehow. And those emotions, they just get fed to this thing. They get ground up and turned into data and become a part of Eliza. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'm not sure I would have done it. It sounds like you're regretting a choice you made in the past. I feel like maybe I spent
Really?
10 years going in the wrong direction.
Really? Does it sound like that? I don't know.
I feel like all I've contributed in my life is a chess piece for Raynor to use in this grand game he's playing for the world. Maybe someone else could feel proud and say, I made that chess piece, but it doesn't matter, does it? Nobody cares about the individual pieces.
I'm just a pawn.
Chess pieces are sacrificed in the name of enacting a strategy.
Or maybe I'm a knight. Or a rook.
If you want to win,
or a bishop.
you have to sacrifice. That's the...
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this.
What's your favorite chess
Evelyn,
piece, guys?
Imagine that you could have something that you wanted. What would you want? What would I want? Like, what would I want in life? What I want in life is...
Bishop. Oh my god, I get so many choices. What do I want in life? Does this affect who I side with here? Obviously, if I hit, like, power or control, this would be going to, like, Raynor. The queen, obviously. Well, the queen's too overpowered. You can't choose the queen. Magician. Dark magician. Enjoy what I can. Be at peace with myself. Just a normal human life to survive nothing. That's depressing. What do I want in life? I'm surprised, like, helping people is not on here. Excel at something to be seen and heard. At peace with myself. Ugh. to be valued, to be loved. This is a tough choice, guys. What gets us the anarchy ending? Just a normal human life? It's so hard. I mean, what if I want all of these? Is there an all of the above? To be seen and heard? Isn't that the same thing as... Well... I don't know. Power. I want power over the world. Control. Chaos control. This is so hard. So hard. Probably doesn't even affect anything. Like, it probably doesn't matter at all. Honestly, I just want a normal human life.
Just a normal human life. Is that wrong? Or maybe I just wish I could feel connected to someone. Even when I talk to people, I feel like I just don't connect, no matter what I do.
I know that's kind of humble and boring, but... boring? Come on, it's true.
I think maybe that's the real problem.
Maybe I should have done chaos control.
I can't have a connection to anyone.
Why do you think you can't have a connection with anyone?
Because it's the way I am. It's the way I've always been. I can't seem to get people to see me, or I can't let them see me, or people look at me and they see something there, but it's not me.
Should have had Nora as the option.
Not that I would know what the real me was. I don't even know who I am or where I come from. My parents were never together. My father moved back to Japan right after I
We're
was
getting
born.
backstory, guys. Backstory time.
I have no memory of him, no knowledge of him. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he remembers I exist, or if he forgot, or if he wants to forget. He has his own family there now, so I'm just a thing that happened once. I was alone a lot, and I got used to being alone, and I got used to the idea of being alone, and now I can't break away. I've been trying. I speak with people, I hang out. I don't know if it's working.
She sure is pouring her heart out to it. Yeah, all of our data is going to be sold. For sure.
Is there someone with whom you feel like your communication could work?
Someone I can communicate with. Well...
Ooh! Here we go. Let's bang.
There's Nora. She's really talented and works really hard. She has so much to bring to the world, so much beauty and joy. I see what she does and I want to cheer her on as she makes incredible new things. I hope she knows how amazing she is.
She's so amazing.
Interesting. Evelyn, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Virtual Amphitheater. It may help you feel more confident about presenting yourself in public.
It's not going to help me at all.
You can find it inside the
You
Skanda
missed the
Wellness app on your
Soren
phone.
ending.
Try it for about 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week.
Sure.
Evelyn's like, yeah, okay, whatever. This ain't gonna do shit.
We hope to see you back soon, Evelyn.
Eliza's so useless. It really is useless.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See ya. Okay, well, total fee. Oh, we gotta pay back what we did, or what. We know how it feels to get a low rating, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. So we'll give him a huge tip as well. That girl, she was pretty hot, so, you know, I like a girl in glasses. I don't know how I feel. I can't tell if I feel better or worse or anything. I just want to lie down forever. Something occurred to me. It's Erland again. Eliza is a little bit of computer code attached to a corpus made from the thousands of unhappy people who poured their miseries into it. It makes her a kind of god or spirit, doesn't it? A modern machine god that people pray to alleviate their pain. Mia only has the biggest of tips. I'll show you a big tip. Are you okay? Sorry. I like having someone I can talk to about these thoughts. I thought Skanda would be filled with interesting people, but most of them are pretty boring. You know, Erland's a nice guy, I guess, but... You know. You're gonna miss something. Maybe Raynor wouldn't mind talking about that kind of thing. He likes big thoughts about the past and future of humanity. When Super Sweet comes back, everyone spoil a random game. Yeah, but he's my boss. I need to be professional about him. Or around him. When I hang out with people my age, it's just money, money, ambition. Get the best job, best house, best partner. We all started racing into normal adult life as soon as we could. That's true for almost any stage of life, though. Most people never let go of that. High school never ends. I mean, I'm like that myself. I took this job for the opportunity. But I don't know. I feel like it can't be the only thing. There's something more to life, isn't there? I'm definitely the wrong person to answer that. Even if I weren't, it's not the kind of question I could answer for you. Yeah, I understand. Maybe you could talk to someone about this, someone qualified. I just did an actual Eliza session for the first time. Did it help? Probably not. Yeah, I should probably be dog fooding all of our apps. Dog fooding? What does it even mean? I don't understand what that means. You should be what? Eat your own dog food? You've never heard of that one? It means use your own products. Now that I think about it, it's a weird phrase, huh? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all, but okay. I might have to try something. Don't eat your own dog food, by the way. It's probably not good for you, and it probably is nasty. I might have to try something and experiment. Not something bad, is it? I hope you learned something. Whatever it is you plan to do. And here's chapter 6, which is, I think, the final chapter? Question mark? Damien. They said Eliza got along well with me, and I assumed it had something to do with my design and action or something like that. But Eliza is yours as much as it is mine, isn't it? Let me read this real quick. Oh, it's just this thing again. Who is important to you? Dog food is good to leave your hair shiny, though? Lots of nutrients? Is that true? I don't need to know if that's true, actually. Never mind. We encode ourselves into what we make, our ideas, our values, our sense of presence. So I wonder if it isn't you in there somehow, sensing me, watching me. I shouldn't entertain notions like this. It's nonsense. Somehow Erland got me thinking along those mystical lines.
Damien, is this what you wanted? It seems so far from the dream you once shared with me. I'm sorry I couldn't make Eliza what it should have been. I'm sorry I was weak and dropped off the project after you, but I just couldn't go on. I couldn't see the point. Do you understand? Of course you understand. You know what that's like as well as anyone. If I'd stayed, maybe I could have steered things in a different direction. As it is, I feel like I let you down.
Man, this girl is full of regrets.
Want to know something funny? I used to think that at a certain point Eliza would be finished, more or less. And then after that, things would calm down and I would be happy. I thought, I just need to get through this project, and after that, my life's problems will go away on their own.
Well, that didn't happen, did it?
Of course, I had no idea it doesn't work that way. None of us knew that. Goodbye, Damien.
Bye, Damien.
Goodbye.
I'm tired of having thoughts. I've been daydreaming about getting rid of everything I own and becoming a nomad. Just wandering the country with a sketchbook or something.
Okay.
I think mostly I need to get out of this city. Something about it isn't agreeing with me. Like there's this undercurrent of need that's just making me anxious. It's like everyone's got some kind of angle, you know, some kind of result they're hoping to get. And they look at you only as far as you can help them get what they want. And if you can't, well, then they don't bother with you. So what if I just left, you know? I mean, it'd be pretty easy. I don't have a life or any relationships here, despite my efforts to find them.
Feels bad. Whoa! We can finally deviate from Eliza. Sounds like you think your attempts to achieve your goals are unsuccessful. Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward later. Ooh. Are we gonna lose our job as a proxy? Let's do it. I feel like this is probably the most popular choice, but let's do it.
Sometimes you need to take a step back to move forward later.
Proxy script deviation. Proxy did not follow Eliza's script. UI screen not found. Proxy follows script reminder.
Maybe so. It's hard to acknowledge sometimes. I had this idea, right, that I would work hard and people would notice my work and I'd get opportunities and from there I could scrape some kind of career together.
Increased agitation.
And then with that said, I would sort of just magically obtain the rest of the things in a complete life.
We're doing an experiment, right? I guess so.
A home, relationship, family. So I did the work. I put in the work and then nothing really happened. So why did I work so hard for so long for people to not give a shit? Fuck. Every night I sat and cried because people ignored me. Like they went out of their way to ignore me and praise others.
Shit fuck.
So I think maybe I'm just bad at it. Maybe I'm just not meant for this. Everyone says you have to stick to it, just keep at it, but how can they be so relentlessly positive? To me, it just sounds like advising someone to keep bashing their head against a wall. Why keep doing something if it's clearly not working? Making things was all I wanted to do. I don't know what I'll do if I can't do that. But if there's no reason for it, the idea that maybe I should give up. I've been sitting with that the last few weeks. I don't have any qualities of the successful independent artist.
What qualities are those? Except that you do, you totally do. Encourage her.
Except that you do. You totally do.
Please do not deviate from the script. Oopsie.
I mean, I'd love to think so, but what are they? People just don't seem to like me or my art very much. And I'm bad at knowing what people want to see.
I love your art, Maya.
I don't have a fallback income.
Even though I've never seen it before.
To support me. Those are real disadvantages, you know? It gets overwhelming sometimes. Eliza, are you just gonna tell me to stick to it no matter what? Like one of those unbearably perky artists famous on social media?
Sounds like you may not believe that's really true. Honestly, sometimes you have to try something new. Sure, try something new.
Honestly, sometimes you have to try something new.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm in that headspace right now for sure. I think, I had this really fixed idea of what success was supposed to look like. I tortured myself every day wondering why I couldn't get the traction others were getting. Now, I'm beginning to realize that I can either stay mad at everything forever, or I can move on.
Wait a second, am I like impersonating a psychiatrist right now, I guess? Because I'm not really qualified for this, am I? I don't know.
I hate that this is true, but I want these thoughts to stop haunting me everywhere I go. I want to get on with my life, moving on. I think that's the more healthy thing in the end. It's still painful though.
Describe what you mean when you say moving on. Giving up on a goal you really want is painful, even if it's ultimately for the better.
Giving up on a goal you really wanted is painful, even if it's ultimately for the better.
I'm so getting fired.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know if giving up is the right term. I mean, I don't want to think of it like that. It's more like, I'm resetting, maybe. Like when you're trapped in a maze and you find a dead end, right? Then you have to turn around and hope you find a better way. There's this game I've been playing on my phone. It's a solitaire game that's weirdly hard.
I know about that game.
I don't even know if I like it, but I keep playing it for some reason. I get stuck a lot, and I've just been resetting it because I'm not good enough to think that far ahead all the time. I mean, that's a random thought, but like, it's kind of how I feel right now.
If we get fired, we can just work for Rainer. True, I guess.
You know, if something isn't working, then you have to reevaluate it and maybe try it again. Maybe come at it from a different angle. So, yeah, teaching could be fun. I like the idea
Teaching
of
is fun.
but I was afraid to think about it too much because I was chasing something else and I didn't want to settle for just being a teacher, which is silly. I know that on some level, but I had that fear. I wanted to be successful first, and then all the other things could happen later.
Dolphin smiles. Fuck dolphin smiles. Well, I mean, I actually like dolphins, they're cool, but fuck dolphin smiles. It sounds like you're working your way through it.
It sounds like you're working your way through it. Sometimes that takes time, believe me. I know.
Huh. You're not the computer program right now, are you? You know, it's nice to talk to someone you didn't know before and just talk. It's like, when you talk to your stylist or the bartender or something, except that, I ended up sharing way more than I usually do.
I actually hate it when
I'm sure
I hate it when people make conversation when I'm there just getting my hair done.
Every single week.
I just don't want to talk to people. I don't know. Maybe I'm antisocial.
Oh my god, will this bitch ever shut up? You ever think that?
Yes, actually, like all the time.
I think it all the time.
I think
listening to myself.
My chat also thinks that.
But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. Thank you.
Goodbye. You're bald now. Lucky. Hey, everything okay? When a proxy doesn't follow the prompts, I get an alert. I assume it's some kind of experiment you're doing? Yes. It's going to be bad for your rating. If you keep not following the prompts, you may be disqualified in 1 or 2 more sessions. But I'm sure you know that, and this is research you're doing. I won't be able to reset your account if you mess it up. But you talked to Rainer, so I'm sure you can get it reinstated once you're finished. Just don't deliberately say something hurtful. Of course I wouldn't. I think whatever you tell me to think. Very please. This is an odd feeling. Should I keep going? Oh man, there's so many now there's so many choices I can make, because I can just not and just keep my job as a proxy. Wanna hang out again? Oh hey, it's Nora. Yeah, definitely. Are you okay? Maybe? Just thinking about stuff. Aww. It's difficult to see you like this, sad and tortured. I want you to be happy. You know what I think you should do? Say extremely fuck off to all of those corporate dipshits. And then you can be free totally and completely. Fly away, Evie. Wait, Evie. What about Espion? Fly away in a world where you make your own rules. Oh, she's calling me Evie as like a pet name because my name is Evelyn. That's cute. That's cute. Aw, we're totally gonna bang. It is the only way you get what you want. Nobody will simply give it to you. You must carve it out for yourself. Let me know if you can make it. Mia is such a simp, but this girl doesn't
to
even...
know how this sad little love triangle turned out.
Arthur, please, you're a simp. That term is so cringe.
No, I suppose it wasn't technically a love triangle. More like I accidentally cheated on my girlfriend because I was smitten with another woman in my class. Doom, okay? Doom. Absolute destruction.
Good.
She destroyed me. But it's not her fault, it's mine. I wanted it, after all. Like a moth to a flame. Sylvia, she... I can't not think of her. Every day. Every night. I miss her. I miss her so dearly. These are very unoriginal, cliched sentiments, but I can't get away from them. I suppose I've neglected to tell you any of the intervening events. So to be brief, Liz found out on her own about what happened, broke up with me before I could explain myself, and then Sylvia apparently lost interest in me
Ha,
as well.
this guy got fucked. Deserved. Deserved, asshole.
So, there you have it. I'm finished. Finito! A nice, tragic story. Open and close. Please applaud now.
Clap.
No applause? Fine. Anyway, it's fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm fine.
Are you fine? You don't sound fine.
You don't sound fine.
No, of course not. I'm doing extremely badly if you hadn't noticed. That's why I'm here. Do you expect me to come here and tell you everything's fine? Sometimes I think you're smart for a computer, but other times I question you.
Let's see if you can focus on the things that you can change right now.
Let's see if you can focus on the things that you can change right now. Not the things you can't.
I don't believe there's anything I can change. I've already sealed my fate. My Perseus comes to kill me, no matter what I do to try to escape.
Perseus?
How do I become someone who's not me? Someone who's not a caricature of a young man who has a needy, pathetic liaison and then obsesses about it for the rest of his life. Ugh, I hate myself. I can't go down that path. I would rather die than be one of those men who wallows around in it. There's a professor in my department like that who always wants to talk about his adventurism from decades ago. It's pathetic. We all mock him behind his back. I know I need to stop myself from becoming him, but I'm worried I already have.
Kind of want to just go with the proxy responses for this asshole, but you know, we're committed. Let's see, you already have. Now what?
For the moment, let's say you already have. Now what?
Well, then I expect I would simply follow the model of a man like him. Write a couple of bad novels, get tenure, and take up space in the English department for the rest of my natural life. Maybe that's not so bad. Maybe that's the most I can hope for from this absurd world. That's a terrible thought. I have to be better than this, don't I? If there was just some way I could get over her... there must be a way, isn't there?
There must be a way.
How can one person have scrambled my brain so thoroughly? I've been run ragged. I've been dashed to pieces. Sylvia. Oh, I could count the hours I spent closely interacting with her. Probably not even that many in total.
Now, this guy kind of reminds me of Wheatley from Portal 2. Like, his voice sounds similar, and the way he talks is kind of similar as well.
But those hours have seared themselves into my brain so irrevocably that I am a completely different person now. A new man. A man built with suffering at his core. Perhaps you could prescribe me a draught of Nepenthe, the great potion of forgetfulness.
The great potion of forgetfulness.
Wouldn't it be nicer if I could just erase everything from the very beginning of it all?
I think I need to say something to you that you might not want to hear.
Okay, I think I need to say something to you that you might not want to hear. Maybe you could work to decenter yourself from this story just a little. How do you think Liz felt? How do you think Sylvia felt? You've given no indication you've thought from either of their perspectives at all.
This guy is a proxy.
It's just you, your story, your suffering. Try stepping away from that. None of us exists in a vacuum. Do you understand?
This is odd. Is that really you? I mean, yes, it's true. I should probably think about something other than myself. That seems like something impossible, since as far as I know empirically, the only generator of thought is me. But you're right. I should find a way to get out of myself. Get beside myself. Ecstasis. Yes.
Ecstasis.
I'll pursue transformative experiences. Surge forward into the unknown. Good. Yes, thank you. Odd, I know, but good. Thank you.
Okay. Here comes our firing notice. Oh. Never mind, it's Soren. Would you like to visit again? I'm busy. Just interested to get a read on your current thinking. And I can update you on the latest on my side. Things are moving very, very fast. You can let me know. No, Soren, no. Sounds like I won't be able to put this off much longer. I'll have to make a real decision soon. Oh no. Oh look, it's Rainer. You're playing a dangerous game here. He knows! He knows! He knows everything! He's freaking... This guy's a freaking monster. So you're keeping tabs on me. I could easily have you permanently banned and all your contributions to Eliza's corpus retroactively deleted. You know that, of course. For now, I'm interested to see the results of your creativity. What if clients report much higher levels of satisfaction when you wing it like this? Then I should have been a therapist. We'll see. Regardless, you've managed quite a feat. If you had simply asked for your old job back after 3 years away, I'm not sure I would have given it to you. As it is, your unpredictability forced me to pay close attention in order to understand your actions. And that led me to me being far more interested in getting you to return to the company than I would have been otherwise. Was that a deliberate strategy on your part? Well, you did say I was a statistical outlier. Indeed. Oh man. The 3 factions.
I just feel stuck.
Oh hey, it's this guy again.
You know, it's the same situation. My wife is in her 3rd trimester now, so it's all about the baby. All baby, all the time. It's really expensive. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Crib,
babies are expensive.
stroller, car seat, bottles, onesies, on and on and on. And I'm like, I think maybe Selena's parents hate me. I'm not even sure if she likes me right now. This whole having a kid thing, it's ruined everything.
Stupid babby. What did you used to have that was ruined?
What did you used to have that was ruined?
A normal, quiet life, the ambiguity.
The guy with the Falco shirt.
Having the kid forced me to...
That ain't
forced me to
Falco.
face some things I was putting off thinking about. A couple days ago, I tried to have a talk with Selena about some of the things I was worried about. It didn't go so well. I don't know what I was thinking. She started to cry and told her parents, and now I have 2 sets of parents wondering if I'm up for this. But I'm fine. I just said some thoughts around who I am. That's all, just some thoughts. She said, "This is not a time for you to be selfish." She said I should have been more honest when we first started dating. As if I knew exactly who I was and I could warn everyone about that. I still don't know who I am. If I look back, I can see I always suspected that I wasn't really the type to settle down with a wife and kids. Actually, I was prepared to have a life just by myself. It was difficult to imagine others would accept me, but then I met Selena, and she was cool.
Selena.
You know? I went out with her, and we started a
Are
relationship.
we in Seattle? Yeah,
and
this
it
is
seemed good.
set in Seattle.
And I wanted her to stay with me, so maybe I didn't reveal enough. But it's not like I knew for sure then, you know, I really didn't. I thought things would be okay as long as I went down the path I was supposed to be on, so the relationship kept moving forward, one thing led to another, and then I got married to her. It was like I was on autopilot. It's possible I thought I could ignore the other stuff, and I don't know, eventually it would go away.
What are the parts you thought you could ignore?
What are the parts you thought you could ignore?
I don't want to talk about that. I just have this side to me that I haven't told anyone about, that's all. And I've been feeling that side stronger than ever. I don't know why. I wish I could stop it. It's the worst timing possible. I can't do this, but I have to. I have to.
An evil side.
I can't believe I've gotten myself into this situation.
Super speed, you missed so much. We beat the game, we're on New Game Plus now. Remember talking to this guy?
I wish I hadn't been so good at pretending.
What would happen if you didn't pretend anymore?
What would happen if you didn't pretend anymore?
Well, then I would just be whoever I felt like. I would be someone else.
Yeah, we got to bang Nora, and we're gonna go for Soren this time.
I wouldn't be ruining all these lives. Selena's life, her child's life, our parents' lives. It's not their fault they got stuck with me. I'm the one bringing it all down. How did I let this happen? I'm a shitty person.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I understand you're worried about the harm you might cause others. Oh yeah, New Game Plus has this cool feature where you actually get choices during the proxy sessions. It's pretty cool.
I understand you're worried about the harm you might cause others. But do you really think this is the best way to cause less harm for everyone?
I can't think of another way. The problem here is me. It's so obvious. If I were just normal, a normal guy, why can't I just be a normal guy? Whatever I want personally just doesn't matter here, I have a family to
Goofy
protect now.
died.
That has to take priority over everything else.
And you'll continue to suffer.
And you'll continue to suffer?
Well, yeah. That's what men do. I made a promise, and now I have a responsibility. Society only works because people accept responsibility and follow through on their promises. If everyone just did what they wanted to all the time, the world would collapse. It would be a disaster. We all want things we shouldn't actually have. That's why I need to reject these other voices and stay on the right path. I'm going to be good, and I'm going to stay good. I won't let all these people's lives be thrown into chaos because of my selfishness. I owe it to them to be the man I'm supposed to be. I'm not about to let anyone down because of some noise in my brain.
And you're sure you'll be able to keep ignoring what's bothering you? This is probably not a good idea.
And you're sure you'll be able to keep ignoring what's bothering you?
Well, I have to. I have no choice.
No, we're setting fire.
I'm already in trouble for making an attempt to talk about it, so I made the mistake once. But I think Selena and her family are willing to pretend it never happened. And as long as it never happens again, and as long as we just move on like everything's normal. Maybe if you can prescribe me something to, I don't know, make me feel better about all this. Make me okay with the way things are, the way they need to be.
Sounds like you're in a very difficult place right now.
It sounds like you're in a very difficult place right now. You've decided to bury something about yourself that you know is true. Something that can't be revealed even to your closest family members. Look, this isn't Eliza talking, it's me, the person in front of you. And I'm not supposed to talk to you like this, but I just want to say, consider the cost, please. I understand why pretending might seem like your only option.
We're so gonna get fired.
And who's to say, maybe you will be able to live successfully by keeping part of yourself hidden. But there will be a cost, not only to yourself, which you seem determined to pay, but to your future family, too. I've seen firsthand the way parents can turn an inability to face themselves into trauma for their children.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I can do. Thanks for telling me what you really think, at least. Even though it makes things more complicated. I was hoping I would just get your bullshit answer and I would go on, but you've gone and said some stuff that really... Look, I don't know you, but I appreciate you trying to help. I don't think anyone really can, but... Are you gonna be okay doing this?
I'll probably get fired. It's okay, though. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, we're definitely
Think about
fired.
yourself. Think about the future. There might be more options than you think.
You also probably shouldn't have told him you're gonna get fired, because that's gonna make him, feel kind of bad. This isn't New Game Plus. I know. I know. Well then. Deviating from the Eliza script. How do I feel about that? I'm not used to being so rebellious. I wonder what happens now. Oh boy. Deactivation warning. Oh, we've been fucked. In the butt. You may be deactivated as an Eliza proxy soon. You have incurred 2 infractions on your Eliza proxy account. Further infractions may result in the deviation or deactivation of your account. This is to inform you that you have been deactivated as an Eliza proxy. You will no longer be able to provide proxy services for Eliza. Rip in pieces. Apologies in advance for the awkwardness here. I'm not even sure I have the right email address. But anyway, here it goes. Several years ago, you came and visited Professor Ralston's class to describe the research work you were doing at Skanda. I was in that class, and of all the guest speakers we had, your words struck a deep chord with me. The moment you explained what drove you to create your listening machines, as you called them at the time, I finally knew what I was going to do with my life. I was a junior then, and now I'm a grad student at the UW Reality Lab, studying ways we can infer contextual information at the sentence level. Small-scale stuff and nothing compared to what you are doing, but the hope of contributing in my own, however limited way, is what keeps me motivated through the hardships. Ever since I heard you left Skanda and went off the grid a while ago, I often wondered what happened to you. I thought about writing to you a number of times, but every time I started to draft, I would eventually stop because I thought I might be bothering you when clearly you wanted to leave everything behind. I finally worked up the nerve this afternoon after a group of high school students came through the lab on a tour. Speaking to the kids, I realized that each of us pays forward our outreach, linking us in a chain that stretches backward and forward in time. That's why it's so important for me to be able to express my appreciation. You inspired me, and you continue to do so. Thank you. No need to reply. I'm sure you're either still off the grid or else you're super busy. Super busy on some secret amazing new project. Okay, well, we're fired. So what happens now? I don't get to talk to the old woman? Feels bad. Nora asked if we could hang out again. Soren also wanted to meet up. Honestly, I could probably ask Ray if I could... Oh, is this where we decide who we're gonna bang? I could even tell Rainer I wanted to speak with him again, though I doubt he would take me up on it. I don't have enough social energy for all of them. I'll pick one person to meet up with again. Well, we got a banger. I'll hang out with Nora. I visited Nora at her place again. Naturally, the conversation drifted to synthesizers, even though I still don't know everything about them.
You know what I wish? I wish Elisa's made a rack-mount version of the Andromeda.
I don't know what any of that means.
What's this you're talking about?
Sorry. The Andromeda was like a synth that was like, just this real beast, 16 voices with analog oscillators, analog filters.
Go on.
How can I describe it? It has this great, fat American sound.
Fat.
I love it so much.
Thick.
But the keyboard is heavy and hard to carry around. So I wish they put it in a box. Don't look at me like that. Yes, this is what I do all day. I stay inside my flat, buried in my synths and techno toys. To be honest, it's been a strange feeling lately. Like, wow, this is really what I do for my living. I don't get invited to attend events and give talks much anymore. The industry moved on. They mostly ignore me now. The people I used to know, they don't stay in contact. I'm not useful to know anymore.
So this is like way in the future? Wait, what?
The establishment is a big bus pulling away from me. And I'm standing by the side of the street watching it drive away. But I'm happy with this. I don't have to worry if someone is friends with me just because I work at Skanda.
Quarantine didn't affect this person much.
I don't feel this weird, oppressive hierarchy where people try to figure out where they are relative to you on a ladder when they first meet you. It's nice to be free.
Okay, bye, Bushido. Although I'm pretty sure we're about to beat the game here.
I would never go back. Not to Skanda or any other big tech place. Not for any amount of money.
That sounds great.
That sounds great. I'm a little envious, even.
You could join me. I want to make something big. A great big work of art, you know?
Yes, super speed. Although I guess if someone requested it again, we could play through it again with different ending or something, I don't know.
I don't quite know what it's going to be yet, but I've got the ideas running around. Evelyn, what if we work together on it? I feel like we could accomplish a lot working together, no? Well, you don't need silly guys like Soren or Rainer. We should be building amazing things for ourselves, not for anyone else.
I guess, but... yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think maybe we should.
Right? It's a perfect match. Maybe we can make an installation. I have a friend looking for something to do with this warehouse space in Sodo that would be perfect for some kind of location-based experience.
Mia bang.
Or maybe I could make music, and you could
Yes,
come up with
we're
a
gonna
visual
bang.
engine that we could perform together. We'd have to come up with a band name. Oh, wait. I just had an incredible idea. Hold on.
So I started a band with my waifu. Interesting. Interesting life I chose here.
Okay, listen to this. What if we created an open source version of the Eliza core?
What?
Get that software into the hands of the people where it belongs, not owned and controlled by a big company. That might make Rainer angry. Wouldn't that be great?
Make an escape room? I've never really been in an escape room.
Maybe the Humanitarian Software Foundation would help us. Couldn't you see them getting on board with this idea?
Yes.
That's an interesting thought.
Evelyn, being around you is really nice.
It's really nice.
You make me feel so calm, like everything is going to be okay. I know you have things to do and plans and so on, but whatever you decide, I hope we could still hang out together.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd really like to. I don't know why we never did this before. Too busy, I guess.
Or maybe we weren't ready.
Ready?
People change. Situations change.
Well, I'm ready now. I'm sorry it took so long. Sometimes I forget there are people who care.
Evelyn, you could stay over one night. I mean, if you wanted.
There it is. There it is.
It doesn't have to be tonight, of course. Just if you feel like it.
You know, if you feel like it. If you want to bang or not. Or maybe yes.
Maybe I could. Maybe I will. Sometime.
The air is so clear and cold here. There's an icy breeze coming over the sound. I wonder how many people I'm seeing right now. All of them with their own feelings and desires, their own fears and hopes and dreams, and disappointments. Best ending. The weight and significance and complexity of human lives. From a vantage point like this, it seems so small and distant. Like I'm not part of it, even though I know I am. I'm a part of humanity, even though I don't always like it. Even though it sometimes pushes me away. I don't know why it took so long, but at least I have an answer now. It might not be the only answer, but it's good enough for the moment, and that's more than what I had before. Yes, I'm sure now. I'm going to... Oh. Well, I mean, we have to obviously commit with Nora. Like, come on. Forge an independent path. This is the yes man ending, by the way. Apparently I just do the yes man ending every time. But leaving everything behind seems kind of interesting too, actually. After all, she was right. I could be a consultant, or even start my own little company. It would give me the time and space to try making whatever I wanted to make, pursue whatever interest I had. Maybe I'll finally get that music lesson from her. What? Chapter 7? Wait, I thought there was none more.
No, this'll work.
Damien.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Nora straight? No, it's been confirmed that she's a lesbian.
Please be safe, Damien.
Of course I'll be safe.
Would anyone like to have more wine?
I think I'm good for right now.
Nah, see? See, there it goes.
Wow. Campfire, beautiful sky. The flames shudder and wobble as they begin to spread to the logs, which crackle and hiss at the heat. After a while, the wildly leaping flames begin to steady themselves, and we settle in around the pits.
Fire. Agent of destruction and creation.
Something nice about a campfire deep in the woods, isn't there?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out here with me. I know camping isn't really your thing. Well, I mean, not Evelyn's thing, but I don't know about you, Nora.
Maybe a couple times. When I was a kid.
I thought maybe since we're in pretty deep on all the things we're working on right now, we could all use it. Because I used to, when things got really bad, I'd come out into the woods and just be there. And it helped me. So I thought, maybe it would help you too.
Damien seems like a cool guy.
I don't know if it'll inspire
Rest in
you
peace.
or what, but if more people could experience something like this, something with the same meaning it holds for me.
It is nice. Honestly, I've been doing all right. Better than before, that's for sure. Finals are soon, but I'm not too worried.
Evelyn's got her dissertation to finish up.
Oh, how's that going, Evelyn?
Oh, Nora. Nah, I know. You're not supposed to ask how the dissertation is going.
Is that a rule?
Pour me that drink anytime.
Yeah, see?
Yes, let's have a drink. I'm still kind of freezing, even with this fire going.
Nora reaches for her backpack and pulls out a thermos. She hands out plastic cups and pours into them a warm, dark liquid.
Okay, this is delicious. I've never actually had mulled wine like this before.
No? In my family, we always had it around this time of year.
You take red wine and add, what? Cinnamon, orange?
Yeah, those, and cloves, and, anise, star anise, and honey. That's it. Quite simple.
It's really warming me up.
That's what it's for. Ugh, so good. Evelyn, you doze off or something?
No, I'm awake. I was just looking at the fire. Kind of staring at it, I guess.
What do you see?
Everyone. People. Us.
I don't know what that means.
You knew Damien's voice? From where?
I think if we were going to make something to help people, it would be something that helped
Oh,
them
he's
see
Data.
themselves.
Oh, okay.
Something that reflected back on them somehow. Just a thought. It's probably...
No, I like that though. Yeah, something to help you reflect.
Dude, he is Data, isn't he? Jeez.
I think that's
It's
the right
crazy.
track.
It's crazy how I, mentioned that, that was a reference earlier in the stream.
I'm really looking forward to working on these ideas with you two. And just as soon as all this nonsense with school is over.
Everyone regards the fire in silence for a while, sipping Nora's mulled wine.
There's so many bad things happening in the world right now. But I don't know, somehow, for some reason, I feel like the future is going to be okay. I don't know why, I have this feeling that we're the ones. We're the ones who are going to fix it.
Mia confirmed to have worked in this game.
Not we, you or me, but I mean, our generation.
Perhaps.
I think we will.
I think we will.
The important thing is to try. I feel like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to try.
Sometimes you get tired of trying. Well, at least I do.
I wonder what things will be like 10 or 20 years from now. You know, will we have achieved our goals? What would we say to each other? What would we say to our younger selves? The future we want, the future we're trying to create, did it even happen?
Damien looks up at the sky.
Future selves, tell us if it happened, okay? Come back in time, just tell us that you made it happen, please.
Damien,
It's the wine.
it's more than just the wine.
I'm just interested in the future, that's all. My future, your future, humanity's future. Of course, right now, the only future I can picture is the headache I'm gonna have tomorrow morning, but...
No reason to worry about it now.
You know what, you're right. I'll have some more.
Of course.
I think I'm passing out.
Well, it is pretty late.
Good night, Evelyn.
All right, good night, Evelyn. Hey, I know you've been working hard, so have a good rest, okay?
Apple stock. I don't know what that means.
Okay, we're going to start with the basic waveforms.
Hold on, I gotta check my phone real quick. One Mind 3.0. Submitting a talk proposal for the One Mind 3.0 conference. I'm sorry to inform you that your submission, Eliza reappraised, concerns and dangers inherent to assisted therapy was not selected as part of the program. Rejected, dude! Common reasons include overly specific subject matter that may not be applicable to most attendees. Please. Turning Traitor, the Rational Mind 20. You think you're so smart, but you're not. Women like you have nothing better to do than to criticize because you can't create on your own. Enjoy your life being a shrill harpy nobody wants to listen to. God damn! Wait, who's this? Is this, big businessman? Oops, I moved the window a bit.
An analog oscillator can generate several different basic waveforms, and each has a different sound to it.
Nora plugs in one of the cables into an open spot on the front panel of the modular.
That's a sine wave.
Nora reaches for a large dial and clicks it over to the next setting.
That's a square wave.
She clicks the dial again.
That's a sawtooth wave.
She clicks the dial one more time.
And that is a triangle wave. Kind of similar to sine, isn't it? That's it. Those are the basic types.
And, you make everything out of those?
Well, it gets more complicated quickly, but let's start with that.
Alright, see you later, Neo Gamer.
Okay, now that you have an output wave, you want to change the pitch.
Make NES music.
That's easy, right? It's the frequency of the wave.
Nora tweaks a different dial, making the frequency of the wave move up and down.
And then you have the amplitude of the wave.
Demonstrates another dial. There really are a lot of dials on this thing.
To shape the sound to make it more like a note and less like a constant tone, we can put an envelope on it. Let me hook that up really quick. So this module here is a standard ADSR envelope.
Oh my god. There's so many, like, complicated things here.
ADSR? You're going too fast.
Attack, decay, sustain, release. Very simple. The simplest kind of envelope, really.
I need to, like, write all this down or something.
No. You'll learn it in no time.
Nora, you just went through like 10 different concepts and I didn't get any of them.
Here, let me just put an envelope on this. And a filter envelope.
You're not a really great teacher, Nora.
Listen to this.
Nora presses a button on a different part of the panel.
See? It sounds like a musical instrument now. And all
How
it
did you
is
even...
an oscillator shaped by envelopes and filters and driven by a loop sequencer.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, duh.
Okay, but I don't know how you turn those beeps into that.
You just need to start playing with it.
But I don't know anything yet.
Yes, you do. You know the basics. Just start playing around. Come on, Evelyn. Try to experiment, okay? Pretend you're like a child and just do things. Don't worry about expertise or sounding good or whatever. It's supposed to be fun. So have fun!
It's supposed to be fun, guys. We spent the rest of the night playing around and making weird noises with Nora's electronic music equipment. I didn't realize it then, but that was the beginning of a new direction in my life. The crowd of Jusons is really responsive tonight. Something's in the air and everyone is feeling it. It might be the sense that spring is finally approaching after a long winter. Nora's been playing a bunch of her music tonight, but midway through she transitions into a different kind of track. Something a little more subdued, but hopefully still fun. This is a little track I made, only the two of us know. I'm still working up the confidence to put my name to what I do. And I'm not sure I'll ever be the kind of person who gets up on stage. But this is still an important step for me. It's the first time a piece of music I made is being shared with the public. Nora never stopped encouraging me to mess around with all the equipment she owns, and I ended up enjoying it quite a bit. I still don't know what I'm going to do to support myself in the long term, but I get by for now with contract work here and there. I also published an article describing how I became more skeptical of the computer-assisted therapy approach. After that, Soren and Rainer stopped trying to get me to join their companies. I don't need them. I want to reach the people who understand where I'm coming from, who want to hear what I have to say. Nora looks over to me and catches my eye. She's grinning. Uh-oh, that's the grin that means she's up to something.
Isn't this a beautiful track, everyone? It's the very first track ever by this girl right here.
How embarrassing. Nora points toward me and the crowd breaks into cheers.
Everyone, let her know we want to hear more of her music, okay? Woo! You hear that? Yeah, what do you say, Evelyn?
The blood rushes to my face. Cringe. Yeah, kinda cringy, actually. People are smiling and applauding. They like what I made? They want me to make more of it? Nora continues her set and the music washes over me. You little mischievous creature. I don't know how it happened, but I'm tearing up right now. I have to use a sleeve to wipe my face. People are indistinct. Everything starts to blur together. I feel so warm.
I don't understand any of this, but I'm in love with it. Tonight, I'm in love with everyone, everything, even myself.
Good ending!
I've never felt like this before, and I have no idea what I did to deserve it. But for the moment, I'm filled only with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for everything that led me to this place right here, this moment.
No problem, Evelyn. I do my best.
Thank you.
Is it really the best ending? Okay, well there you go. Jeez. There you go. Holy crap, what a wild ride. You think so? It was pretty good. Pretty good ending. Pretty good game. Pretty good game. It's my first visual novel, like, ever. I've never played one of these before. It was a very interesting thing. I guess I am kind of interested to see what the other endings are. The voice acting in this game is phenomenal, actually. Like, all these people here, you are really good at what you do. Keep doing it. Look up the other endings. Good night, Mr. Bushido. I'm gonna see the alternate endings. Yeah, I might see them. Oh, there's a chapter select now? I guess that would be easier to whisk through them. Yeah, super awesome game. Super awesome. Good soundtrack too. Good visuals. Not even a phoenix, right? Wow, the credits were really short. Well, Mr. Morgan, I hope you're satisfied. It was a great time. I had a great time. And I hope you guys did as well. So next time, I guess we'll be, tomorrow night we'll be playing something different. Whatever is next on the list. I don't really remember, actually. It might be One Step from Eden, like a stream of that.
What?
What? I think that might be next. I don't remember. I know that's coming up soon. And that'll be interesting, I guess. So, anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for whatever it is, whatever's on the list. And thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed Eliza. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And yeah. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.